Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frost-Kalnow Stadium, the site of tonight's matchup between the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes and the Fremont Ross Little Giants. I'm Nate Mullins on the call tonight with Tommy Hall. We have the entire Heart of Ohio sports crew here with us as we are getting ready for an exciting matchup here tonight between these two cross-state route rivals. We'll call that State Route 53. This is the battle for State Route 53. Is that what you would call this, Tommy? We'll bill it that. Once again, we're here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. We're about a minute away from kickoff. But hey, let's thank our pregame show sponsor, Rodgers Flowers, for presenting you our pregame show. Tommy, let's talk about this one just for a minute or two. Hopefully they give us two, but let's talk about this one because this is a game that I think both of these teams have had circled on their calendars for 364 days?
Oh, absolutely. As Tiffin Columbian Week 1 opened up against Fremont Ross in the 2021 campaign and had a big lead leading into the fourth quarter. But, man, this Division I standout, Caden Holmes for the Fremont Ross Little Giants, he's the one to look out for. He's definitely the heartbeat of this Fremont Ross offense as he led them to a big comeback against the Tornadoes in that Week 1 matchup last year, 37-36 after that huge two-point conversion right at the end. Last-minute theatrics, last-minute heroics, and I expect nothing else different here tonight on Heart of Ohio Sports live from Frost-Kalnow Stadium for this non-conference matchup between the Fremont Ross Little Giants and the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes. And Nate, again, this is the marquee matchup in Northwest Ohio tonight, and we want to thank you for joining us live for it as we're live via YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, and our website, www.heartofohiosports.com. But you hit the nail on the head. This one is going to set the tone, set the tempo for the season. It's Week 1 of high school football, and we are about underway as Fremont Ross gets ready to kick away.
And it is fielded at the 21-yard line. And they bring it up to the 29, about the 30-yard line. And let's go ahead and switch to the main feed here because you don't care about our ugly mugs. Let's watch the football game.
Jack Corbett brings the ball out to the 29-yard line. Will be first down, Tornadoes.
Huh. Well, let's see how well we do this game without any rosters here. Because they didn't put any down on this end of the booth. So starting out at quarterback, junior quarterback Braden Rogo. He's going to hand the ball off up the middle. And after a short gain of maybe 2, he'll go down at the 31-yard line, the ball carrier there. Damian Brockington, the ball carrier.
And this defense for Fremont Ross, led by, we talk about those local ties, Coach Chad Long, Clyde standout, Bowling Green standout, coached here at Tiffin Columbian for a little while. Now they
sling it out on the left side.
Of the Little Giants as Rogo just gets the wood laid to him by Caden Holmes.
And that is the Brogo connection there. Rogo to Rogo. Braden to Bryce, and they are just shy of the first down here. Evidently, rosters are in short supply around here as Damian Brockington is hit behind the line, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about 3 yards. It's going to be 4th and 3 coming up here for the Tornadoes at their own 37-yard line. And they're going to keep the offense on the field here. Aggressive play call.
Trying to get the defense to jump.
Trying to get those free yards there.
And those are those Week 1 mistakes. You got to hold your water. It's game time.
Rogo takes the snap. Looking over the middle, and it is incomplete as excellent coverage there on the play. Caden Holmes on the coverage there.
So a huge turnover on downs. Fremont Ross will now start this drive from the 36-yard line, and you couldn't have picked a more opportunistic window if you're that Division I standout Caden Holmes. In the shotgun.
Holmes pitches it out left side. The running back's got some running room, and he is inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line before he's out of bounds, but a flag on the opposite side of the field near the 28-yard line. We'll see what the call is. Could be a hold on the perimeter there.
Holding the call against Fremont Ross. Brings up first.
Oh my. Caden Holmes in the shotgun formation. He's got one back in the backfield with him, and that is number 24. And another run up the middle. So after the holding penalty, it was 1st and 11, and they get back maybe 2 yards up to about the 36-yard line. But that's about it. So 2nd and 9 coming up.
Starting to get a little aggressive down there in the trenches. See some extracurriculars going on already, and you knew this one was going to be heated from the get.
Kelandre Jones, the ball carrier in the backfield with Caden Holmes, senior quarterback. First team All-Ohio Division II.
Look at
slings
that.
it down the field and incomplete.
A little bit too much mustard on that one, but the receiver, late getting to it, had a step on his defender.
How do you say that name? That one right there. Hernch?
Rinchu?
Rinchu? Might need some input from Fremont fans there on that one.
An empty set.
3rd and 9.
for
Caden
Ross.
Holmes back to pass. Slings it left side. It's incomplete.
And that's going to bring up 4th down.
Got a 4th down coming up here for the Little Giants. And I believe you're going to see the punt unit come onto the field as Chad Long sees this as an opportunity to pin the Tornadoes deep in their own territory here.
When you have two squads this closely contested, it's about field position and it's about field advantage. And again, you win the short field, it opens up a lot of opportunities for you to score and get out early in this one.
High snap. The punter is able to get it away. And this one is going to be fielded. Oh, what a great job by the special teams unit, just catching the ball right at the 2-yard line and downing it there. So that's where the Tornadoes will take over. So they escape disaster there after turning the ball over within their own territory. They're able to force a 3 and out. I'm going to give a big shout out to our sponsors and, of course, our pregame show sponsor, Rodgers Flowers. Big shout out to Brian Ferguson. All of his help with sponsorship for baseball, football, and, of course, he'll be with us for basketball as well. Stop in and see Brian. Check out those Swan Creek candles, guys. Tornadoes take over at their own 3-yard line. Braden Rogo in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers, 1 on each side of the field. 1 man in the backfield with him.
Yeah, that Chad Long defense, nothing fancy. You'll see a couple twists.
Handoff up the middle. And they breaks away. 30, 35, and taken down inside the 35, down to the 38-yard line. What a run there by Damian Brockington. And Brockington breaks out into the open and gives the Tornadoes some breathing room here.
Poster child for week 1, doing big things and breaking one to get the Tornadoes in great field position to start this drive.
Brockington slips in the backfield and goes down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on that one.
And anybody that's played at the Frost-Kalnow Stadium can tell you, a turf monster, it gets you sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So 2nd and 11. Braden Rogo, the quarterback, junior quarterback now.
Yeah, taking the full snaps.
That's right. Nobody's going to be taking over for him. Rogo slings it right side. It's complete, and he is drilled. Jack Corper on the reception, and he is met right away.
Yeah, that was Elijah Sims.
Nice job by Sims, the junior defensive back, 6'1", 160. 3rd and 14. Rogo back to pass, slings it over the middle. It's complete to Corper, but the receiver is drugged down right where he brought the catch in.
I don't know what the holdup was by Fremont Ross on that. They had great penetration up front, able to get some pressure on the quarterback, and they just kind of held up there as Rogo was able to get that one out. But nonetheless, brings up a huge 4th and 13. And this is one of the highlights of the Tornadoes. That's why I was surprised they went for it so early and gambled, is the special teams this year has really come a long way and is something to look for in this
line drive punt.
Columbian
it's going to
squad.
roll. It's going to take a friendly Columbian roll on its side all the way down to the 15-yard line. What a boot. 48-yard punt.
And that ball put a backwards New Era red cap on it.
Shoot.
It just kept rolling.
Probably went about 20 yards in the air, but we got another 25 after the roll.
Yeah. So now we
Impressive.
flip the field.
So the ball at the 15-yard line, that's where the Little Giants will take over. 1st and 10. So each team has had a offensive possession. Tornadoes have had 2. Now this is the second offensive possession for the Little Giants here. 7:30 left to play here in the first quarter. Still no score.
This defense has got its ears pinned back. Loading the box here.
Holmes rolls out to the right, and he's going to keep it, and he's into the open to
Holmes
the 30,
turns
to the
on the
35,
Jets.
and he's out of bounds. Past the 35 up to the 38-yard line. That's something the Tornadoes are going to have to keep an eye on. He is a very athletic quarterback, and he's not afraid to take off and run when he sees things break down.
Gain of 23 yards on the carry. First down, Fremont.
1st and 10, ball at the 38-yard line. Holmes, a pistol set, 3 receivers off the left side, handoff, 24 on the carry. It's Calandre Jones. It's going to be brought down right at the 40-yard line.
And Jack Newlove doing a tremendous job getting low, taking out the pins.
And you're going to have to get low on a guy like that. 6 foot, 225 for Calandre Jones. So they sling it out left side. It's complete to the receiver, but they're going to bring him down behind the line, but
Just a sea of blue and
referee will
gold.
give him a yard. And that'll give him 3rd and 7 coming up.
Gain of 1 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Third and 7 coming up. Holmes looks to the sideline now for the play adjustment. Now Holmes has the play call. He settles in. Shotgun set. 2 receivers on each side of the field. Holmes back to pass. Steps up into the pocket. And he slings it downfield. It's complete past the first down marker and out of bounds. The Fremont Ross Little Giants pick up the first down.
Fremont Ross taking their time, getting into their rhythm. 6-11 here in the first stanza of action as both squads have had a possession. 0-0 here in the first quarter from Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
First and 10 at the 49. Holmes takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself off left guard. Maybe got about a yard, maybe 2. 2nd and 8 coming up. A lot of preseason love for these Little Giants, Tommy, and rightfully so. This is a team that's loaded, top to bottom, both sides of the ball. They're going to make some things happen this year.
And again,
2nd down and 8.
the senior.
Holmes back to pass, slings it over the middle.
Nice.
It's complete. He's got it over the 30 up to the 29-yard line.
That's the way you thread the needle as Holmes makes that next level throw.
Heronchew. There you go. Heronchew. I like that. You would never think that's how you pronounce the name by looking at it, but now that I look at it and think about it, yeah, actually that does make a lot more sense.
That's a name you need to learn because Heronchew does a tremendous job and has a tremendous relationship with this quarterback. And now the Little Giants are driving here as
Holmes on the
Keeps
quarterback
it.
keeper. He's got
Makes
room
man
into
miss.
the open 10, 5, and into the end zone. And we'll see. Did he step out of bounds? No, he didn't. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Fremont, Little Ross. I thought the referee, Little Giants, I thought the referee down there on the 5-yard line said he'd stepped out of bounds, but I guess not.
Yeah, the Hog Mollies did their job up front. Holmes able to tuck it and run, find the edge, make a move on a defender, take the ankles, and take it in for pay dirt. As Ross now
was
up
impressive.
6-0 on the Tornadoes. 5:04 remaining here in the first quarter of action.
That was impressive. And now you see why that young man was Division II All-Ohio first team last year. Snap is back, and it's a botched snap. The kicker's going to have to field it, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield for a loss.
And in a game that you expect to be tightly contested.
That might be the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something to take note of. But Tiffin Columbian, we talked about the exciting things that we were looking for out of this young squad, especially with Braden Rogo at quarterback, coming into his junior campaign, that brother tandem. This is a quarterback that has always played well beyond his football years.
Absolutely.
I mean, this kid, he's had starting reps as a freshman. That doesn't necessarily happen too often at Tiffin Columbian. And as he's matured and as his football IQ has caught up to him, this is a game that, again, between these two quarterbacks, I expect them to duel. And it's going to be exciting to see what the Tornadoes do after getting hit in the mouth on that last Fremont Ross drive where Caden Holmes put on a show. Was able to drive and get Ross on the board first here from Frost-Kalnow.
They drive it all the way from their own 15-yard line, and they punch it in from about 30 yards out. And Caden Holmes already putting his imprint all over this one. 5:04 left to play here in the first quarter. 6-0 Fremont. Corper takes the kick, returns it up to the 20, past the 20 up to about the 22. That's where they'll push the pile, and that's where the pile will go down. Right about the 23 maybe.
Number 4, Jack Corker returns the kick. Tackled by a host of Little Giants.
We talked about that young Tornado core, Jack Corper, in his junior campaign. He's had some experience with this Tornado squad as well. And it's nice, again. You got to kind of iron out those week one wrinkles. You kind of got to form that chemistry. But, I mean, I tell you what, these guys have been playing together for a long time on the Tornado squad, and they have more chemistry than a periodic table. It's just finding that rhythm.
Rogo is going to keep it up the middle. He's got some nice blocking, and he's going to be close to the first down.
And Rogo shows the wheels there. The 6'4", 186-pound quarterback.
Took a nice recruiting tour this summer as he took visits to the University of Pitt, University of Colorado, and he received an offer from Bowling Green. Rogo back to pass. Setting up the screen for Brockington. They got blockers out in front. Brockington is not going to read his block very well on that one as he's going to take it outside and should have cut that one off the back of his blocker a little bit more to the left, maybe inside. But, hey, great pickup there by Brockington. He's got it up to midfield, and a great play by the Tornadoes.
And a great drive here by the Tornadoes, especially, being expected to answer back after the quick score by Ross. The Tornadoes got to make something here on this possession. Rogo on the run. He's going to be brought down. But
I think he did get rid of it just in time before he went down.
What a tremendous job by Lurk Durbin.
Brings up second down and 10. From the 50 yard.
Was that 58 or 68? Either way, tremendous pressure by Fremont Ross on that play.
Yeah.
Getting to the quarterback.
Handoff. I think that's Mitch Scheiber on the carry. Senior running back for Tiffin Columbian, 6'1", 182 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's in the usual rotation as Brockington came off the field, maybe for an equipment issue. Fixed whatever was going on and is now back in the rotation.
Scheiber's a captain. He's definitely in the running back rotation. Brockington's that familiarity that we see with Judd Lutz in this offense. 5 receiver set, empty backfield. Rogo back to pass, slinging it down the field. He's got a man downfield, and it is broken up. Excellent coverage down the field by Fremont Ross.
Yeah, there is.
We got a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is. And it is a sideline warning. Against the Little Giants. So that's the first one. You don't get a penalty for that one, but after that, it's an automatic first down penalty.
A 4th down now. The Tornadoes with the ball at midfield. It's decision time.
I don't think it's 4th and 8, is it? No, it is 4th. We'll get that Sticks crew on top of things down there.
I mean, it is hard to be right all the time.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be doing anything.
If you're going to be on the air, you at least got to know everything.
That's right. So the Tornadoes bring the punt team onto the field now. 4th and 8 situation.
And what a tremendous job by Fremont Ross, stalling this drive of the Tornadoes after drawing first blood in the first stanza of action around that 5-minute mark. And now the Tornadoes, after putting together a nice little drive, forced to punt here.
Braylon Auble on to punt for Tiffin Columbian. And that one will go out of bounds right around the 30-yard line.
Not the worst starting position for the Little Giants as they come out for this drive.
I'll say they'll mark it at the 35-yard line. That's where Fremont Ross will take over, leading 6-0 with 3:18 left to play here in the first quarter. I think our scoreboard froze up.
Let's look into that after.
Yeah, we'll
take a break.
We'll check into that during our first quarter break here. 3 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. Little Giants take over at their own 35-yard line. Shotgun set, one man in the backfield with senior quarterback Caden Holmes. He brings a man in motion. Fake it to the jet sweep, now hand it off. And Jones is going to get it up past the 40 to the 41-yard line. And he is a bear to bring down, Tommy. 6 foot, 225.
Yeah, this Swiss Army knife that is Fremont Ross. I mean, they're not short. They're not in short supply of athletes. You got different elements, different facets that everybody in the squad can employ.
3 receivers set on the near side of the field. 1 receiver on the far side. Holmes takes the snap. Quarterback keeper off the left side, and he's going to be stopped right around the first down.
May have it.
Yeah, we'll see. Going to be close. I think he's going to be just short, so just shy of the first down marker. 3rd down and short coming up, maybe about the nose of the football to go.
No personnel change here.
Let's see if we can check in with our sideline guy here, Eric Hall. I want to see if maybe the cell phone is still working down there. Hey, there we go. What's going on, Eric?
We're trying down here, man. We're trying.
That's right. We're going to get this figured out. And a nice carry by Calandre Jones. You know, I'm noticing the physicality right now for Fremont Ross. And they're big in the trenches, Eric. Is that something, I mean, from up here I can see it, but from down there, I mean, look at the size of that line. Is that something that's pretty obvious down there?
Oh, it shows down here. That's a big group down here. And they are giving TC hell right now.
And Calandre Jones just bowls ahead.
Yeah.
6 foot, 225-pound running back. But now the Tornadoes got pressure.
Holmes going to take off and run and gets it
Little
just
shake.
past.
Just when you think you have Holmes dead to right, he's one of those quarterbacks that extend the play. You know, we talk about making chicken salad out of chicken. You know what? That is an example right there by Holmes.
Yeah, he should have been dead to rights, Tommy. They had him back in the backfield, but he squirted out of there and picked up a yard.
2nd and 9 now. Ball on the 49-yard line.
Holmes with that hard count and then looks to the sideline for the play adjustment.
Rinju and Sims down here at the bottom.
And we're going to get timeout here. Fremont Ross looks like they're going to take a timeout. 1:25 left to play here in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here. Let's thank our sponsors, Tommy.
Oh, absolutely. We want to thank our community-minded sponsors bringing you Heart of Ohio Sports High School Football right here live on Heart of Ohio Sports. We want to thank Rodgers Flowers, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, First National Bank of Sycamore, Steinmetz Sign and Graphic Inc., Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, TJ Willies Fine Foods, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Reino's Pizza and Pasta, Sara RIZEN, Century 21 Bolte Real Estate in Tiffin, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia, Buckeye IT, Linda Ritzler Accounting, Culligan Water, and 5-Star Maintenance. And don't forget Champ's Barber Shop. Lining you up as these fine sponsors lined us up this season right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Couldn't be happier to be partners with all of these fine community-minded sponsors. Folks, when you hear these names frequent these businesses, that's what we talk about. It helps keep these broadcasts paywall free. If you want to watch without us having to make you pay for it, that's how we do it. Holmes slings it down the field. He's got a man. Oh,
He
what a
got
catch. What a catch at the 15-yard line.
Bryson Hammer. Tremendous job.
Wow.
Step for step with the coverage. Got a quick little step on his defender. And, of course, Holmes putting the ball only where his receiver could get it.
Oh, we're going to say incomplete pass.
Huh?
So 3rd and 9 coming up. Too bad we don't
That's
have an
huge.
instant replay. We need an instant replay feature for that because that one looked pretty close there, Tommy. Just saying. A really close call there. A 3rd and 9. Shotgun set. Hard count. Try to get the defense to jump. Now Holmes has the snap. Slings it out right side. Running back in the flat. And nice job as they come up and make the stop right at the 45-yard line. They're going to be about 3 yards short of the first down marker.
Keandre Jones definitely makes this an interesting decision.
I don't think it is for Chad Long. Not quite as aggressive as Judd Lutz was on his first series. He decides, nope, you know what? Let's just go ahead and pin these guys deep. We got the lead.
Yeah, this is
It's at the 45-yard line.
like we talked about at the top of the pregame. I mean, this is one game you do not want to allow to slip away and turn into a shootout. And that's exactly what Coach Long is doing. So meticulous. The cerebral assassin here between this mentor and student matchup between Coach Judd Lutz of the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes and Coach Chad Long.
Now, what a punt. What a punt. Takes a heck of a roll, and they're going to down it all the way at the 1-yard line.
It's almost like the half.
That was one heck of a punt right there.
Well, TC's going to have to bring their hard hat and pack a lunch here on this drive as they're going to start this one from their own 1-yard line, and it's never a good thing to be in the shadow of your own goalpost, Nate.
Yeah. You got that right, Tommy. The ball marked at the 1-yard line. Tornadoes trailing 6-0. There's 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Braden Rogo in the shotgun set. One man in the backfield, receiver on each side. Rogo takes the snap, handoff up the middle, and they got some breathing room as Damian Brockington gets it up past the 5 to about the 7, maybe the 8-yard line before he's brought down. So that's very Very productive there for that carry. That'll be the last play of the first quarter. And your score as we head to the second quarter. Fremont Ross 6, Tiffin Columbian nothing. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. You're tuned in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Let's go back 20 years.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
For a bunch of background noise and shit.
All right, and we're back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. We start the second quarter of action. 6-0 Fremont Ross. Tiffin Columbian has possession at their own 7-yard line. Second down and about 3. Actually, they say it's about the 8-yard line, so. Rogo, little pitch, right side. Brockington finds the edge, has the first down and then some, up to about the 19-yard line. Damian Brockington finding some running room within this Fremont Ross defense.
When we talk about them blue-collar yards, this drive started from the 1-yard line, and Tiffin Columbian, inch by inch, yard by yard. I mean, Coach Judd Lutz wouldn't have it any other way, but, man, this could be a very extended drive as we start this second quarter of action.
Shotgun set. Rogo, handoff once again, and the defense is going to be right there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Maybe even lost a yard back to about the 19. Packed house here, Tommy. Boy, you couldn't fit another Tiffinite in here with a shoehorn.
And again, the crowd here is electric.
Well, yeah, because we can't even hear our sideline guy right now.
You're able to bottle that electricity in the stadium, man, you got something sweeter than you, as Tiffin Columbian looks to continue this drive on 2nd and 11.
Rogo slings it.
Finds a
right
wide
side. Complete.
Rogo connection. The Brogos.
Bryce Rogo brings it in at the 31-yard line. That's good enough for the first down for Tiffin Columbian. So they're on the move. This one started out at their own 1-yard line. They've got it to the 31.
You know what I've noticed about this Tiffin Columbian offense this year is they're not as quick to the ball as what they normally are.
Yeah.
A little more thorough.
A little more methodical. Rogo pulls the handoff. Now going to keep it himself off the left side.
It's
now
caught, he
pitches
flips it.
That was a dangerous play there by Braden Rogo as he pitched it out to his running back, Brockington.
I like dangerous.
And I'm not sure. There was some extracurriculars happening towards the end of that play there. Somebody came up without a helmet on.
Again, you got to keep your words soft and sweet because you may have to eat them later. These two teams we knew coming into tonight, no love lost, no sympathy.
Fremont will take over 1st and 10.
It's definitely about as much sympathy as a get well card from an Undertaker between these two squads.
Was that a fumble? Oh, there was a fumble at the end of that play. So Fremont Ross will take over. Wow. So the ball at the 29-yard line, Fremont Ross will take over. Man, that happened right at the end of that play, Tommy. He must have ripped it out on the way down to the ground, but. Shotgun. Holmes going to pull it. Takes off the right side. Got some running room. He bounces off a tackler.
He bounces back, comes inside.
Still hasn't gone down yet. Holmes is showing off his athleticism, but also his physicality right now, Tommy, because he is not afraid of contact.
No hocus pocus, just all focus out of Holmes as he finds the edge once again, able to make something happen. And then if you get cleaned up on the sideline, guess what? That's just a chance for extra yards.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Shotgun set. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Caden Holmes back there in the backfield with Calandre Jones. Holmes takes the snap, slings it left side. He got it out complete
Look
to his
at that.
receiver. Receiver into the open field, down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line.
Passes complete to number 9, Bryson Hammer.
Bryson Hammer on the reception, second team All-Ohio last year.
Poetry in motion between quarterback and receiver as Hammer took that one in stride. And that's how those plays develop, Nate. There's no hiccups. This is a well-polished Fremont Ross team in week 1 that just about as polished as anything you're going to find here.
Absolutely. 3 receivers on the far side of the field, 1 on the near side. They play on the left hash,
And when you're the
working
Columbian
right
D,
to left.
trying to create pressure, trying to get after this quarterback, and you have to hold your water to make – they're just playing right in the
Holmes is
hand
going
of
to keep
Fremont.
it. He beats the edge rusher.
Spins it's a fumble.
Fumble into the end zone, and they're going to say he was down before he reached the ball out, but still got 5 yards, got it down to the 1-yard line, and it's going to be second down and goal.
Again, we talk about second chance yards. Sometimes it can come back to haunt you, but, man, I love how Holmes, you never can count him out. Gives you that second wind.
Holmes takes the snap, handoff up the middle.
And the big man, Andre Jones, bowls ahead.
He's in. No, that wasn't even Jones. That was another big guy. He was
another
even
one.
bigger. It looks like they found that kid at Phillips Electric back in the back room in the storage room. Jeez, he's a big boy.
Yeah, young fridge. Mini fridge.
79 is the number on the license plate. That is Jacob Ratliff.
Jerry Scott. I heard somebody say Great Scott.
Okay, so Jerry Scott, the ball carrier. Don't even have him on the roster, I don't think.
Fremont Ross, disaster struck after they had their first score. The extra point was muffed.
They decide to go for 2 here. And hold on, we got a timeout. Tiffin Columbian going to take a timeout.
As these two schools take a timeout on this 2-point conversion play.
Let's talk about what we got going on tomorrow,
Oh,
Tommy.
absolutely. As week 1 of high school football concludes here tonight. We had a great contest between Calvert and Mohawk on Thursday night football. Right now, Friday night football between the Tornadoes and Fremont Ross, and it's just a slugfest. But speaking of slugfest, tomorrow night here on Heart of Ohio Sports, live from the Wyandotte County Fairgrounds, it's BCM Promotions, Fight Night 10, the Route 30 Rumble, presented live by Route 30 Harley-Davidson, Nate. 12 fights, 2 championship matches, a light heavyweight championship match, and a match to decide the vacant BCM heavyweight championship. That all goes down live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports from the Wyandotte County Fairgrounds. And again, tickets are still available at bcmpromotions.info. $40 for general admission tickets, but still, folks, you can catch it live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Bell time, 7 p.m.
Shotgun set. Holmes looks into the end zone, slings it for the 2-point conversion, and that's good. 14-0 Fremont Ross on top with 9:12 left to play here in the first half.
Now a true 2-possession game with 9:12 remaining here in this first half of action. And Tiffin Columbian, after having to start drives within their own territory, you thought a lot of those drives would have stalled out because of that. But no, Tiffin Columbian's been able to put drives together, but the turnovers, that has really stalled out that last drive by the Tornadoes, and you can't give Caden Holmes the ball in your own territory. He's going to make you pay for it, and that's exactly what Fremont Ross was able to do, is they capitalized off the gift by Tiffin Columbian on the turnover, converted it to points, and now it's a true two-possession ball game, 14-0, Ross over Columbian. Don't forget, you can catch Heart of Ohio Sports Friday Night Football each and every Friday night. 2 different crews bringing you the action. As Nate, we're trying to cover as much football in the area as possible here in Seneca County, as Northwest Ohio is the home of high school football, and Heart of Ohio Sports is the pulse of the Buckeye State.
It absolutely is. And Fremont Ross kicks it away. It's fielded at the 20-yard line.
Look at that return.
Corper finds the edge. He's got a little running room up past midfield and out of bounds.
The green screen gloves able to hold on there for a huge return.
A nice return there by Corper. Sets up the Tornadoes inside Little Giant territory at the 47-yard line.
You know, you hate to harp on it, but this is definitely one of those possessions that you cannot go away empty-handed. But we do have a Ross player down on the field, Nate, so we're going to take a timeout from this.
We're going to try to get the sideline situation figured out at halftime, because we definitely want to try to utilize our guy down there. Eric Hall's down there with us. I want to see if we can get some in-depth perspective down there.
But man, what a beautiful night for football.
It is a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, I got you right now, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you want to maybe check in with the weather here in a little bit, Eric? Maybe we'll check in with weather report at halftime. What do you think?
Yeah, I can give you a weather report. It's bright.
It's
That sounds good.
I like it. Yeah. We'll get a more in-depth perspective when it comes to halftime. We'll send it down to you, and we'll get things straightened out. But I appreciate you being down there for us. Right now, Tornadoes down 14. Tommy, what do they got to do here on this offensive possession?
Don't get deterred. Have a short memory. That's what this game's all about. You can't worry about what happened on the last play, the last drive. You just got to continue on what's in front of you. Take it piece by piece. And as Coach Steve Gilbert of Columbian fame would always say, you do the little thing right, the big things will happen. And Tiffin Columbian, they got to do the little things right here on this drive as they continue to drive.
Brockington on the handoff up the middle. He's got it up past the 35 to the 33-yard line.
A little thing, but it goes for a huge gain as Brockington attacks the gap, makes it to the next level, and he's brought down by a sea of defenders. But now the Tornadoes continue to drive with 8:50 remaining as the clock rolls on here.
Ball at the 33-yard line. Braden Rogo, pistol set. Pitch, little quick pitch to Brockington as he tries to set up some blockers in front, but didn't really develop very well on the left side there as the Little Giants really broke down that left side of the line.
Yeah, with that four-man in front of the Little Giants, you really just see kind of hat-on-a-hat blocking down there, simple zone stuff. Not a lot of counters, a lot of traps or anything going on as Fremont Ross, they just get at you. They just get at you aggressively. They just want to win the battle in the trenches, create havoc, create chaos, and try to get the young quarterback off kilter. They're going to bring him down.
And he's brought down in the backfield back at the 36-yard line.
That's what I was talking about. If you can get that push up front.
So quickly now, it's 3rd and 13 here, Tommy. You got nothing to show for those first 2 plays, and now you're facing a 3rd and long situation.
Well, you had the running game working. You're starting to establish that, but you gotta have different tools in your tool belt here. As Fremont Ross expecting the run there, and when those hog mollies know they can just create havoc in the gaps, it's going to be hard to get around them. You're not definitely going to be able to have the time to pick lanes.
3rd and long. Rogo back to pass, slings it right side, picked off, intercepted, and they're going to take it back. On the return, Caden Holmes
Holmes still up.
is tripped up by his own teammate.
And there's flags all over down here.
Should be a blocking penalty because I did see a block in the back right around the 45-yard line by a Fremont Ross defender.
Well, another turnover by the Tornadoes continues to put this one at a distance as Tiffin Columbian looked to be chopping away at this deficit, putting a nice little drive together, but another disastrous turnover by the stud, Caden Holmes, a Fremont Ross, really, literally putting this game on his back and in his hands.
We have multiple flags on the field here. We're referee crew sorting out what's going on here. Eric, what's your perspective down there? What do you think's going on here? What are referees even talking about right now? Both at the same exact spot, too. There's a blindside block and a block in the back there. So a first down and 10 for Fremont Ross. After the interception, they'll take over at their own 40-yard line. Two receivers on each side of the field, one man in the backfield. Actually, one receiver on the near side. They got a tight end, a little H-back on the left side of the formation here. Looks like they'll probably run to that side. They do. Calandre Jones busting through tackles and breaks his way up to the 49-yard line, close to midfield.
7 minutes remain here in the first half of action, and, you know, Tiffin Columbian needs to do something defensively, as the last two drives offensively for the Tornadoes resulted in a turnover, and the last two defensive series resulted in points for the Little Giants.
Holmes in the backfield. One man back there with him, and we got a stoppage here. Delay a game. They took sweet old time getting that play in. Oh, they're going to pick up the flag, and they decided not to call it because they got a timeout instead. So let's take a look around the area at some of the other scores, Tommy, as looking at Bellevue and Port Clinton. That's a pretty good matchup, week one matchup. That one's taking place over in Bellevue as the Redmen lead the Redmen 8-7. Port Clinton Redskins, I'm sorry. Clyde trailing St. Francis de Sales 8-0. Mansfield 12-7. What's your thoughts on Norwalk this year, Tommy? Could they be improved under Todd Fox? Could that be a team to keep an eye on?
I think you can't ever underestimate any squad that Todd Fox coaches as.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the pedigree to put it together, and when you get a couple of great athletes, that's a recipe for good things.
A couple more scores we'll give to you after this play. 2nd and 1, Caden Holmes in the backfield with one back there with him, Calandre Jones. Two receivers on each side of the formation. Jones takes the carry and bowls his way forward for the first down inside Tornado territory to the 45-yard line. Some other scores. Hopewell leading carry 8-3. Jones takes the carry and bowls his way forward to about the 40-yard line. So 5 yards there on that gain. It's pretty much about every time he carries the ball, he's picking up about 5 yards, Tommy. Even if he falls forward, he picks up 3.
Inch by inch, Fremont Ross keeps those drives alive, and then Holmes able to just razzle-dazzle and make things happen.
Handoff. Jones up the middle, got some running room, bounces off a tackle, and he spins his way down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Nicely done there by Calandre Jones.
And what a tremendous line the Ross Little Giants have to follow. I mean,
Yeah.
I could probably pick up 3 or 4 yards to carry with that line in front of me. What a tremendous job Fremont Ross has done here tonight in the trenches. And when you give a guy like Holmes more bites at the apple, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to end well for you. Keys are to keep this guy off the field, keep that Fremont Ross Little Giant offensive unit off the field.
Jones once again on the carry, and the power back bulldozes his way up to the 20-yard line for a 9-yard gain. And this is one of those ball carriers, Tommy, that as the game goes on, he's going to wear on a defense. If he keeps getting these carries, those 4 or 5 yards are going to turn into 8, 9 yards, and then sooner or later he's going to break one. Ball at the 20-yard line, second down and about 1. Hand off to Jones once again, trying to break it to the outside, and he is tripped up.
He's going to get it.
Right before the first down marker. I believe he's going to be just short. Let's see where they spot it. So it's John.
He's already averaging 4.7 yards per carry. You might as well.
Well, those Fremont Ross uniforms, they look really cool up close. But, man, up here, it's just so hard to read the numbers.
Well, there's also beautiful architecture to put the press box right in the sun.
Fake the handoff. Holmes slings it out right side. That's complete.
It's still
Couple of
dancing
broken
on the
tackles,
sideline.
and the receiver, I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds about the 9-yard line. That's where I thought he had him out.
Knocked out of bounds for number 5, Jack Newlove.
Jack Newlove on the tackle.
Brings up first down.
First down and 10. Actually, they'll say first and goal. So first and goal at the 9.
Tornadoes need to make something happen here or make a stand defensively. You cannot continue to allow Fremont Ross to pour points out on you. If anything, you just want to get out of the half.
Handoff. And he is going to be hit in the backfield and drop for a loss.
Brings up second down, 11.
I think I see Jerry Scott, number 99. Is that who that is? He's listed on the roster at 99. Look at this interesting formation here. 2 backs on the right hip of the quarterback. And a running back in the backfield behind the quarterback. Yeah, center rolled the ball.
Flag on the play is offsides, or false start by Fremont Ross. 5-yard penalty. Brings up second down and goal from the 15-yard line.
Second and goal from the 50.
3 minutes and 3 seconds left here in the first half. 14-0, Fremont Ross leading Tiffin Columbian. Ross has it at the 15-yard line. Second down and goal. Holmes back to pass, looking over the middle. It's tipped, and nobody there to take advantage of it because that was up in the air for a couple seconds. But
You're not talk about bites at the apple. Holmes isn't going to give you
many.
Holmes isn't going to throw that up like that too often as ball gets tipped. Tornadoes now impose their will defensively. 3rd and 15 here.
Third down and goal from the 15.
There's 2:41 remaining.
Caden Holmes, pressure, slings it out left side. It's incomplete.
Nice pressure by the Tornado defense.
Thing goal now.
Pressure on the play by number 61.
I was going to say Connor Musa.
Nice job
Pressure
by
the
Connor
quarterback.
Musa. applying the pressure, getting in there. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the first half. And the Little Giants are going to keep the offense on the field set here for Caden Holmes.
Holmes thought about scrambling, and Newlove came down.
No confusion in the defense here, and I think we're going to get a timeout.
Well, why not? You can't take him with you.
Absolutely.
And really needs this timeout, too, to stop the bleeding, as Ross still is on top. 14-0 with 2:35 here remaining in the first half.
This is going to be a big down in distance for Tiffin Columbian here. This is a big down. They need to come up with a stop here. You can come up with a stop, you get your ball back, maybe you got 2:35 left, you got one timeout, maybe get some points on the board before you go into the locker room. That's a completely different ball game.
Absolutely.
So this is a big time down for Tiffin Columbian. They got to come up with a stop here.
And no lead is safe, especially in this game, because that was exactly the tempo or the story of last year's contest between these two squads. Columbian, huge lead, a big fourth quarter resurgence by this Fremont Ross squad cost the Tornadoes in the end, and really left the bad taste in their mouth for the rest of that 2021 campaign. So again, we talked about this being a circled matchup on the Tornado calendar. The Tornadoes trying to wake up here on this huge 4th and 15.
4th and goal. Ball at the 15. Holmes stepping up into the pocket. Gets rid of it into the end zone. It's picked off. Intercepted. Brought back to right about where they would have got it back if they would have turned it over on downs. But a nice play there. Jack Newlove comes up with the interception.
New Love, his name is New Love, baby, with the INT.
He's one of those kids I've heard a lot about in the offseason. He's one of those training
he's from a football family.
Well, and, you know, the training camp guys talk a lot, and that's one of the guys that I've heard a lot about this offseason. Everybody kept telling me, keep your eye on this New Love kid. He could be something special. Sophomore, getting some playing time, 5'10", 143 pounds, soaking wet, Tommy. You think they weighed him with his pads on and everything? Did you get that extra 5 pounds or so? First and over at their own 20-yard line.
Yes.
Rogo, back to pass. Pressure in the pocket, brought down in the backfield, back at the 9-yard line.
And we talk about squads, especially up front. I mean, this Fremont Ross squad, they had their team photo taken by helicopter. That's how big these guys are.
Jeez. Dante Rumschlag on the sack. Loss of 11. 2nd down and 21.
Oof.
But this Ross defense is just tenacious today. This Columbian offense has no answers. Rogo is going to keep it himself up the middle. Now he's got some running room. 25. Brought down right around the 20 or 23-yard line, maybe 24.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And Brockington is going to go down after the play is over. Not sure how that happened. He must have.
Remember still, Nate, it's week 1. There's cramps. Those things could be continuous issues. But
Absolutely.
You know, we try to keep you updated. But we want to thank our sponsors here for helping bring high school football to you right here live on Heart of Ohio Sports. We want to thank Rodgers Flowers, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy, Federal Credit Union, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, First National Bank of Sycamore, Steinmetz Sign and Graphics Inc., Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, TJ Willies Fine Foods, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Reino's Pizza and Pasta, Sara RIZEN, Century 21 Bolte and Tiffin, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia, Buckeye IT, Linda Ritzler Accountant, Culligan Water, and 5-Star Maintenance. And don't forget, Champs Barbershop. All proud sponsors bringing you high school football right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Champs Barbershop, of course, will be replaying the game tomorrow morning. Huge shout out and a thank you to Randy Ware for his contributions here with Heart of Ohio Sports, jumping on board with us for a partnership. Couldn't be happier to have him on board with us. Obviously, he was a big supporter during the baseball playoffs, as regularly he would have our games, our broadcasts on in his establishment. And got to a certain point when he said, hey, how do I get involved with these guys? I like what they're doing. That's when he jumped on board. You want to jump on board with us, folks? Just give us a call. Shoot us an email.
Fremont Ross looking to deliver the fade here defensively.
Set up the
He's 3rd and
screen.
6.
Corper has it up past the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's a big-time first down conversion for this Tiffin Columbian offense. They needed that.
They don't got time to mess around.
Nope, no time to give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Shotgun set. 1:13 left here in the first half. Rogo slings it out left side, complete.
Makes a man miss. Corporate trying to get out of bounds.
He does get out of bounds. And we're going to get a flag at the end of the play as Corper got a little extra stuff as he went out of bounds there into the Fremont sideline. The referee did not like what he saw as he went into that sea of purple and white. We'll see what the call is. Number 22 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, personal foul.
And both of these squads are on that cusp of making it to that next level as a program. With Fremont Ross especially, they finished out that campaign last year 8-4, and a lot of people out there believe that this may be the year for them. But when you're out there, you got to act like you've been there before.
That's right.
And those little penalties and little mental miscues, that's what separates good from great.
Rogo, back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking over the middle. He's got it complete up to his receiver at the 25-yard line. And that is number 6 on the reception.
Got to get on the ball, though. Again, 57 seconds remaining here in the
Number
first
5,
half.
Jack Newlove actually on the reception.
Tiffin Columbian looking to get on the board before the half ends.
53 seconds left here. 1st and 10.
The Tornadoes do not want to go with their heads low
looking
down.
to pass. Just throws it out of bounds wisely
That's a
in
smart
the
play.
direction of his brother over there. So there was an intended receiver in the area. That was a heads-up play there by Rogo just to live to play another day there.
Or another down in that case.
That's right. Second down and 10. 44 seconds left here in the first half. 14-0, Fremont Ross leading Tiffin Columbian.
Rogo throwing the ball away again allows you a chance to breathe, reset. Rogo decides to keep it, and he's going to be
down
met.
in the backfield. There's got to be a point when, as a quarterback, they're letting that clock roll down to 25 seconds. No urgency on the part of the Tornadoes here with 20 seconds left. They still have one timeout in their back pocket here.
You try to get down there, maybe get yourself in.
Maybe they're just not trying to leave any time left for the Little Giants here. Rogo rolls to his right, and he's past the line of scrimmage. He's going to have to go. And he's out of bounds with 3 seconds left on the clock at the 9-yard line.
So what do? Do you take the points into the locker room, or do you go for a score here?
Tommy, I tell you, on that play, they wasted 20 seconds waiting to get the call in. I don't know what was going on there, but it just didn't seem like there was any urgency on the part of the team to get back up to the ball.
In my mind's eye, again, that one timeout left in your back pocket, you take that huge sack, you kind of come out of your game plan. You try to get down there, get in position to be able to call that timeout and squeak out there, kick the field goal, and take some points in with you in the locker room.
Well, now you're going to take that timeout with you, and they're still going to try for the field goal here. Rogo to hold, and the field goal is
missed.
Up, and it is no good. Off to the right, pulled it to the right, and the score remains 14-0, Fremont Ross, as we head to halftime. Folks, don't go anywhere, because we have the halftime show brought to you by TPC Food Service right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. We'll be right back after this.
Legacy Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
All right, I've got Tiffin Columbian football coach Judd Lutz with me, and we are here at the Tiffin Drive-In. Now, this interview is going to be airing during halftime of this Friday's Columbian versus Fremont Ross game. But, Coach, I really appreciate you spending some time with us and, coming out here and enjoying some good festivities out here at the Drive-In.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Obviously, new Drive-In, great event for both schools, both high schools and the community. So, really happy to be here and happy to be part of it.
All right, so let's get into it, Coach. We got to talk about football. It's the first game of the year. How long have you guys been counting the days for this one? As soon as the season got over with last year?
Yeah, darn near. Obviously, season wraps up and you take a little bit of time to decompress, but most players and coaches are ready to turn the page and start getting ready for the next season. And obviously, you kind of circle that first game and want to put some things in for that opponent specifically. And we've been doing it for quite some time now.
All right, so I've heard some chirping. I've heard some talking amongst the players, coaches. This one's been circled on the calendar, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
I mean, you're allowed to say that, Coach, because you know why? Because it's the first game. So you've had your eyes on this one all off season. You know, you don't like to look ahead, but you are allowed to look right at this one. And this is, I mean, it's a big one. This is probably the litmus test for you guys. And it comes at the first game of the year. Talk about what goes into this.
Yeah, obviously it's been circled mainly because it's the first one.
Yeah.
And, last year's year and last year's team is last year's team. And these guys been on a mission to, right some wrongs in some ways and hopefully do something really special. And so they've put in a ton of work, and then as coaches too. You know, we felt like we needed to improve in some areas and been right at it from the get-go, the moment we kind of winded up the season to correct some things, get better in some areas. And we're really excited, obviously, to see some of the fruits of that labor, obviously through practices and scrimmages, and now, in front of a whole big crowd, hopefully.
Now, last year, you guys matched up. Didn't go the way you wanted it to. Obviously, last second play to win the game for the Little Giants. And, that started their season off the way they wanted to. But I'll tell you, you guys have had to have been thinking about that one ever since. Now, it's not a lot of the same guys back. You still got, your underclassmen are coming back. You got your senior group now this year. But that was a big senior class last year. You've got a lot of shoes to fill. Talk about the attitude coming into this season and just some of those leaders that have to step into those roles.
Yeah, we graduated another really great senior class number-wise, but also participation-wise, did a lot of great things for us as a program and in their careers. We definitely played a lot of young guys last year. So we do return some guys with some experience for sure, and have some guys who were waiting in the wings behind some really good players too that are ready to go and really excited. So they return. Fremont Ross, a really good team with a ton of talent from last year, and we returned some for sure. And we're just really excited, obviously, for the opportunity to see where we are.
So see where you are. I mean, this is the opportunity right here. First game of the year. Now, obviously, this interview's airing at halftime, but we're not going to talk about what happened in the first half because we don't know. But you guys have a little bit of, there's some connections between Tiffin and the Fremont Little Giants. Now, obviously, the school's not connected, but the coaching staffs, a little connection there. Talk about the connection you guys have.
Yeah. I know their head coach over there, Chad Long, really well. He was his first year coaching high school football was at Columbian. He was my position coach, and then moved to our defense coordinator the very next year. Chad and I had a ton of respect for him as a player to a coach, young coach, and obviously we stayed connected his entire career, since then, and kind of where he's been and what he's done. And obviously he's followed me and been a big fan of what I've done and everything, and our paths have crossed numerous times. And then small world, one of his very, very good friends, who relationship kind of started a couple years ago, is now our defense coordinator, and Sean Conley. And so they had this connection even prior to us. And so it's pretty cool. Obviously I root for him a ton. He's a great guy, great dude. I want him to be really, really successful for 9+ games. I think he would definitely say the same thing for sure.
Absolutely. All right, Coach. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time because, you may be seeing this on Friday. today is actually your wife's birthday. So happy birthday to
birthday, Amy.
your wife, Amy. Thank you for once again coming on with us. Thank you for spending some time with us out here at the drive-in. Appreciate your time, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks again, and good luck this season. It's going to be a great season.
It's going to be a good one.
So, hey, one more thing. We got one more thing here. We got a coach's show coming up next week.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah,
what I
we're
hear.
putting the work. We're putting it together. It's the final details are being worked out between me and the owner of the establishment where it'll be held.
Yep.
But it's in the works, and I'd say look forward to that next Tuesday, 6:30, right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks again, Coach. Appreciate your time.
My people, see your people, we'll get the lawyers together, we'll work out the details.
We'll work out the details some other time, but
Sounds good.
thanks again. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one. And we're back here, Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call. We've got Greg Kinn helping us out doing the producing, keeping us from pulling our hair out here. Once again, you're here for the halftime show. TPC Food Service halftime show right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. 14-0 the lead for Fremont Ross here at halftime. And I'll tell you, Tommy, the score doesn't indicate right now how dominant that Ross team has been here in the early going, because, man, it's just been impressive to watch them in the trenches. They are just devouring the defensive and offensive line for the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes. And Braden Rogo has not had more than 2 seconds to throw the ball. Every time he's dropping back to pass, he's got at least one guy in his face.
You would think Fremont Ross was the one looking for revenge, or to avenge a loss from a year ago, as Tiffin Columbian had a lot of hot and cold spurts in that first half. They would get a drive together. They would be able to make a stop defensively, get a drive together, and then boom, before you know it, a turnover.
Yeah.
Falls into the hands of Ross. Ross works a short field with that tremendous quarterback they have in Holmes, and he was able to just slice and dice the defense to get on the board first, draw first blood early on in that first half. And then from there, again, Tiffin Columbian came out strong on that next drive. After that scoring drive, were able to put something together, and then another turnover. And it just it's been a few bounces of the ball the wrong way for the Tornadoes, and right now those week one mistakes is really pointing out all the difference right here, as Ross sitting on top of a 14-0 lead. Columbian was trying to make waves, trying to get themselves on the board before the half, but a missed field goal after a huge drive by young Braden Rogo. Columbian unable to put any points on the board, unable to convert that field goal, and they went into the half with no points, and I definitely would not like to have been in that locker room.
Yeah.
Because at one point, with about 5 minutes remaining in that second quarter, again, Fremont Ross, as they took that lead, they were able to put another drive together to make it 14-all, and at one point, Tiffin Columbian just looked like they were trying to get out of the quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, defense trying to stand tall, and they actually were able to, forcing a 3rd and goal from about 15 yards back. Went in the fourth, unable to convert. Tiffin Columbian took the ball from their own territory, able to march down, but that missed field goal. I mean, that's just been the story of the game. Empty possessions for the Tornadoes, and that's one of the reasons why, again, we sit here 14-all. Fremont Ross on top of the Tornadoes as we get ready for this second half of action, live from Frost-Kalnow Stadium, Nate. And what an exciting week of high school action we had for you.
Yeah.
Thursday night football, Calvert able to pen the Mohawk Warriors, avenge that loss from a year ago. And now tonight, here, Week 1, Friday night football, Tiffin Columbian hosting the Fremont Ross Little Giants, and we talked about it. This is a statement game, not just between these two programs against each other. It's, to make the state take notice, because both these teams are primed for a run, and tonight we're going to get that litmus test. We're going to kind of see the lay of the land, and I tell you what, Fremont Ross, they look postseason ready already.
They are locked. They are loaded. And I'll tell you what, Tommy, they look like a team to be reckoned with this year in Division II. And, Tiffin Columbian, Division III, this is a litmus test. This is that measuring stick. And usually you don't see these until, maybe week 3, 4, 5, maybe even, past the midway point of the season. But
yeah, they're setting the tone for the season.
Yeah, they are. I mean, this is probably the toughest matchup on their schedule this year, Tommy. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt.
I mean, it's going to be a tall task for them to come back here in the second half.
And I tell you what this does for your mentality, and it's kind of been a culture for Tiffin Columbian, is you always went through that meat grinder NOL schedule, that SBC Lake schedule, and if that wasn't bad enough, if you go through this program at Tiffin Columbian, you're trying to make it to that next step, trying to bring home that state championship that's eluded this program for so many years. A few years back, they were able to make that state semifinal run, So once your program gets to that point, you can't be scheduling cupcakes throughout the non-conference schedule. You got to schedule the Fremont Rosses. You got to schedule the big teams that, again, if you're able to make a name for yourself, able to establish your identity and see that litmus test on where you stand in the lay of the land, I mean, that's just TC football.
Yeah.
You take your lumps early, or you ride that wave of momentum, and that's what you're trying to establish here in week 1, is that momentum, trying to establish the tone for the season. And Tiffin Columbian, they got about 24 minutes to cut away at this deficit and to get themselves in the driver's seat.
Week 1 is that momentum, trying to
There's an echo in here. This is a big time situation here for Judd Lutz and his coaching staff. You got to think about it. As they go into the locker room, you can't go in there yelling and screaming at your players. Because, I mean, well, Tommy, can you really say it's their fault? A lot of the things that happened in that first half, I feel like there's a couple things that were just out of their control, and a couple things that, I mean, it's first week jitters, you got to get over those things. But that's one of those things that as a coach, there's a balance. You can't go in there just screaming at everybody. You got to find a way to get these guys fired up coming out here in the second half. And, Judd is a great guy at finding that balance. He's not too high, he's not too low, he's right there, even keeled. And a lot of times you see him down there, he's the first guy meeting them guys as they come off the field. He's clapping it up. And that's the energy, but you don't want it to come from your coaching staff, Tommy. You need that to come from within. So where's it going to come from with this leadership, with this senior group right now?
I think you just underscored it right there. The captains.
Yeah.
You have that look in, you have that moment, that self-reflection, that moment to look in the mirror, and you look into your teammates, and you kind of trust in each other, trust the process. Understand that, hey, this is week 1. This is Fremont Ross. This is a Division I quarterback, and just a heck of an offense and heck of a loaded unit. But you wouldn't want it any other way.
That's absolutely right.
That's just, again.
So as we go,
week 1 football, and Fremont Ross, so far they're living up to the hype.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we're going into the second half, Tommy, what do you think the keys to the game are? Brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. I want to talk keys to the game, Tommy. What do you think the keys are for Tiffin Columbian here in the second half?
You're gonna have to toughen up. You're gonna have to tighten up. You're gonna have to go and make stops defensively, impose your will, try to create a little bit of pressure to get this quarterback off kilter and stall some of these runs, get a turnover, and do something offensively to chop away at this 14-point deficit.
Return man brings it up past the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Coach Chad Long and his staff, Fremont Ross, they played just about almost as perfect first half of football as you can, barring the mental miscues and the goofy penalties.
And that's the thing. They've got to find a way to overcome that stuff, Tommy.
Yeah, you got to act like you've been here before.
That's right. Put it behind you. Be where your feet are. Caden Holmes in the shotgun formation. Now, if you're the Little Giants, what do you think the keys are here in the second half? How are you going to put this thing away? You got to put this to bed. Holmes slings it out right side. It's complete. He's got some blockers out in front, and he's got it up right around the first down marker.
I think you put your foot on the gas and you just continue to run your offense, run your game plan, and allow your defense to make them stops. Because, again, you can't get too conservative if you're Fremont Ross. You can definitely put your foot on the gas and try to put this one away early.
Pump fake over the middle. Holmes hits his receiver at the 40-yard line. Well done by Caden Holmes. Looking off the coverage with the pump fake to the right, coming back left, and hitting his man.
They moved the chains with that one.
Elijah Sims on the reception.
See, and that's what we're talking about. It was an interception on Fremont Ross's last offensive drive to close out that first half, and undeterred by it, they're still running those.
Little option play here. Speedy man on the outside.
They really love to hug and play that sideline, Nate. Stretch the defense out, try to be the quicker person on the field.
Ricky Howard on the carry, 5'6", 150-pound senior. Little scat back. As Tommy, he showed off some speed on that one, picking up 7 yards. 2nd and 3. Shotgun set. Caden Holmes back there in the backfield. He's got Howard on his right hip. Now they look to the sideline for the play adjustment.
Sends a man in motion.
Holmes back to pass.
Still going to bring the blitz.
Pressure up the middle. Holmes gets away from it. And he's going to break 3 tackles. And it's going to be buried at the 31-yard line. But, man, he picks up the first down on an incredible athletic play.
Arm tackles are not going to bring this Division I prospect down.
Wow. What? I mean, just what a play by Caden Holmes. That was incredible. I think he broke at least 4 tackles on that one, Tommy. That's got to be something, you know, the coaching staff, when they go back and look at that film on this one, Columbian's coaching staff, they're definitely going to be working on tackling here in the next couple weeks. Holmes back to pass, looking, fires deep down the field into the end zone. Touchdown, Fremont Ross.
And Ross, once again, to Harinshu, finds the connection, and the Fremont Ross Little Giants on the opening drive of the second half continue to bury this TC squad with a 20-0 lead now, Nate, with 10:24. It took less than 2 minutes to get down there and put points on the board.
Was that a flag at the end of the play? Maybe excessive celebration? I don't know.
Yeah, Nate, he stared down that defender after he thought that.
Yeah, that was definitely something I saw, but I didn't think that was against the rules. I mean, he didn't, unless he said something, I don't think it's against the rules to look at somebody. So Harinshu called on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I think we got our sideline reporter a little bit better connection, so we'll be checking in with him throughout the second half a little bit more often.
I mean, we talk about, again, acting like you've been here before, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of attitude. And you gotta act like you want to hit somebody when you're down there.
That's right.
So Tiffin Columbian, again, if you're just going to continue to get pushed around and you're not going to answer back, you know, you can
Holmes
stay
slings
coy.
it out left, and it's into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So 22-0 is your score, Fremont Ross over Tiffin Columbian with 10:24 left to play here in the third quarter.
But eventually you're going to have to wake something up inside yourself as Ross continues to bury this lead, 22-0 over Tiffin Columbian, live here from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. And, man, I tell you what, like we talked about at the top of the program, you always watch these week one matchups, and, you know, normally you see teams working out the kinks, kind of not so much going through the motions, but more so just establishing their game plans, establishing their offenses, establishing their defense. But tonight, Fremont Ross, they came in here razor sharp.
Yeah.
Laser focused, looking like a team on a mission.
Score update from the Hopewell Cary game. We'll be there next week, Tommy. Hopewell over in Bascom for the Hopewell Loudon Chieftains as they come off of a state semifinal appearance last year. They trail Cary 9-8 in the third quarter. That taking place over in Cary.
I see teams love to play each other.
Oh, yes, they do. And kickoff fielded at the 30-yard line to the 35, up to the 40.
Look at that,
midfield return. And he's got it up past the 50-yard line up to about the 46. Pretty close to about where he returned it to the last time he had a kickoff return, Tommy. He's pretty electric back there. Score updates from around the area. We'll keep it going here. Sandusky leading Springfield 20-7 at halftime. Lakota all over Monroeville 21-0 in the third quarter. That, I'll tell you what, Tommy, I say it every year. Watch out for those Raiders this year.
Tiffin Columbian still chasing a 22-point lead. And this is where, again, you separate good from great. When you start getting in deep water, when you start taking those deeper breaths.
Over the middle, Rogo slings it to Corper, who's tripped up right at the 29-yard line.
Conditioning becomes a factor here in week 1, Nate. There's practice speed and then there's game speed.
Elijah Sims was right there to make the tackle as soon as he caught the ball. 1st and 10 at the 29. Rogo steps up into the pocket, and he is brought down right as soon as he steps up. Just no protection.
Cannot get the protection.
They just got nothing on the edges. The edges are just not there for them today. They cannot set the edge because it seems like both tackles just cannot contain their assignment.
In that respect, take out one of them receivers, bring in a
some
tight
help.
end.
Yeah, give him some help. They can't contain a 4-man rush right now. Rogo slings it, and it is incomplete as he was trying to find Corper right about the 24-yard line. Yeah. And I'm not saying anything bad about those tackles. Those kids are out there playing their butts off right now. But that defensive line for Fremont Ross, Tommy, they're just pinning their ears back and getting after it because that's what they know. Columbia's not going to run the ball. They're down 22 points. They got to throw. So 3rd and 11 coming up here. Ball at the 30. Rogo back to pass. Slings it over the middle. It's complete past the first down marker up to the 15-yard line.
Defender kind of lost the step.
Brady Gooding with his first catch of the ball game.
Makes a cut inside. Leaves the defender in his dust and able to now set up shop at the 15. 9:22 remaining. Clock continues to roll here in the 3rd quarter of action. Pitch out.
Pitch out. Brockington cuts it back inside. I'll tell you, these Fremont Ross defenders, they know how to get low. They know that low man wins. And I'll tell you, they're just taking the pins right out from underneath these
Brockington again.
players.
Still nursing whatever happened to him earlier.
Yeah, he's very frustrated as he comes off the field. And the training staff will attend to him. We'll check in with Eric Hall here after this play to see what's going on. But handoff up the middle, and that's Keyshawn Seitz, junior running back, carries it up to about the 1-yard line. So they're closing in, knocking on the door.
Yeah, bring in a Hossilla there for TC, number 73. Rotates in.
Mitch Scheiber comes in, the blocking back. Seitz still in the backfield. He takes the handoff, follows Scheiber's blocking right into the end zone for the touchdown.
Could have drove a truck through that lane as TC finally gets on the board, Nate. Able to answer back that touchdown and cuts it back down to a 2-possession lead.
Keyshawn Seitz plunges in from 1 yard out to bring the Tornadoes to within 16 here. 22-6 is your score. 8:25 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Michael Wagner on to attempt the extra point.
Just the extra point here.
And Wagner's kick is up, and it is good. A little flying V action over top of the field here. A little flyover for us.
You know why one side of that V is longer than the other?
Why?
There's more
birds. More birds, yeah. 22-7 your score, 8:25 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors for bringing you tonight's ball game here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Rodgers Flowers, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, First National Bank of Sycamore, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, TJ Willie's Fine Foods, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Reino's Pizza and Pasta, Sara RIZEN, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia, Buckeye IT, Linda Ritzler Accounting, Culligan Water, 5-Star Maintenance, and Champs Barbershop, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Great weekend to come out and support all of our Columbian athletic programs.
Once again, 8:25 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. 22-7 is your score.
Don't forget, we'll also have the fallout from week 1 coming up this Monday on the Pulse Podcast, live here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Tune in around 8 p.m. And then also Tuesday, looking for an episode of the Coach's Corner. More to come on that. Tune into the Pulse for more information.
That's right. Kickoff fielded at the 30-yard line. Returner driven out of bounds. Herenchu, the returner.
Well, we found out the offense works. Now you need that defense to really come out and do you a favor. I mean, what's
These
it
little
take
Giants, man, I tell you, they have been
What's it
impressive,
take
Tommy.
to stop this three-headed monster in the backfield? I mean,
Well, you
if
got to read your keys.
Yeah, again, if you make the read on Holmes, you know, you got Jones to account for.
As a linebacker,
If you bring pressure and you see hammers open in the flat, I mean, it's just you're danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Mitch Schreiber coming up to the line, making the defensive call.
Look at that discipline by Fremont Ross, too, on them hard counts.
Handoff, Jones up the middle, and he's going to be brought down just past the 35 to about the 37-yard line, but he drags a defender with him.
Yeah. Again, you secure, you wrap
7
up.
yards.
With a guy like Jones, you know, even when he's falling forward, even if you fall flat on your face, you're still moving forward.
Yeah.
And that's a great mentality to have towards life, too.
Holmes has the play call. 3 receivers on the far side of the field, 1 man in the backfield. Holmes takes the snap, handoff Jones. Hit in the backfield, but bounces off the tackle and carries it forward for the first down up to the 43-yard line.
2nd and 5, Columbian brought the blitz and just
Second chance
Fremont
yardage.
Ross. Yeah, again, they met everyone at the line, and that's where the battle's been won all night. Who's going to win that battle up front? Thus far, Fremont Ross has just been a titan.
First and 10, ball at the 43. 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Caden Holmes looks to the sideline for the play adjustment. Now brings a man in motion. They hand it off on the jet sweep.
Oh, he got
He's
the
got
edge.
some blockers. He's got the edge, and he's into the open up to the 40 and down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Bryson Hammer on the carry, but once again, these little Giants, they are just finding all the holes and all the weak spots in that defense right now.
Again, you're having a little difficulties matching up, head up, so you bring a few extra guys to try to create confusion and get these tackles and guards off assignment. But you forget you still have the other part. You forget you got to still defend outside the hashes as well.
Yeah.
And that's the trick. That's the trick of it.
Timeout on the field. First and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. 7:03 left to play here in the third quarter. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night as we've got a special presentation of MMA right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. BCN Promotions presents the Route 30 Rumble live from the,
Wyandotte County
Fairgrounds. Yep.
Wyandotte County Fairgrounds Arena.
Fantastic arena.
And some seats still available. BCMpromotions.info.
That show was just too big for Route 30. They had to find a bigger house, man. 3 receivers on the near side. Holmes takes the snap, handoff to Jones. Oh, no, this is the scat back in the backfield. This is your 23, Ricky Howard on the carry. And he's going to lose 3. Back at the 38-yard line.
That's what you need to kind of put an end and stifle some of these drives. You get those tackles for a loss, makes more yards to make up. And Ross, these long sustained drives, even if they don't get in the end zone, it's still taking time off of that scoreboard as Columbian's still chasing that 2-score lead.
Shotgun set, 2 receivers on each side of the field. Caden Holmes takes the snap, looking. He's going to throw it right side, and it is complete. He's got it up to his receiver right around the 33-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and about 7, maybe 8 coming up here. 3rd and a long 8.
Even on that second alarm, it's still still defending a little deep there. 3rd and manageable, though. 3rd and 8. Well, manageable if you're Holmes here on a huge 3rd and 8 play.
Holmes gets rid of it, and the receiver was not ready for it. As the Tornadoes brought pressure, Holmes had to just get rid of it there, Tommy. He had
absolutely
no time to waste. And Howard was the intended receiver out of the backfield. He just was not ready for it at all.
Was that 72 that got the pressure?
I believe that's who it was.
Victor?
It'd be Carter Groves on the pressure.
4th and 8.
Little Giants keep the offense on the field. Holmes going to keep it. Brought down in the backfield for a loss back at the 38-yard line. Big stop by that TC defense.
Wow.
Now that is what you needed right there if you're Tiffin Columbian.
Carter Groves once again finally awakening the beast inside. As what a tremendous job defensively. They were called the tax, Nate.
That's absolutely right.
You come out in this second half, Fremont Ross able to put points on the board immediately, less than 2 minutes. TC tasked with the unenviable answer back, and Columbia marched right down, and then you expected that defense to really make a big move. Make a big stand.
Tiffin Columbian takes over at the 39. Handoff up the middle. And that is Seitz on the carry. Keyshawn Seitz is going to get up to about the 41-yard line.
Tackled by number 26, Mason Villarreal.
Mason Villarreal on the tackle for Fremont Ross. He's been all over the field tonight, Tommy. That kid, he's been a monster.
2nd and 7 now, 5:12 remaining. Clock continues to tick away.
5:08 left to play in the third. 22-7, Fremont Ross leading Tiffin Columbian. Handoff up the middle. And I believe that's Seitz on the carry once again.
No.
Ball comes out at the end of the play. Orange markers on the field. Referee calls it a fumble. And he's going to cut it back inside and take it back for a touchdown. Fremont Ross capitalizes on the turnover. Seitz gets hurt on the play. I think they ripped his arm. They ripped the ball right out of his arm. You got to be strong. I mean,
yeah, Fremont Ross.
They're going to come after that ball. You got to imagine that's what's going to happen.
After that huge defensive stand by the Tornadoes, just came out, ears pinned back themselves.
35 yards for the Fremont Ross touchdown.
28-7 your score now with 4:50 left to play here in the third quarter. So all that momentum goes away after 2 plays, Tommy. 2 running plays, they turn it over, and the Little Giants take it back for a touchdown. This offense, turnover plagued here tonight. Is that the 4th turnover so far, Tommy?
Yeah, you got to be able to match physicality.
Ouch.
It's not about mental miscues. It's not about mental mistakes. Fremont Ross is just getting after it.
Yeah.
And they're imposing their will. They're imposing that physicality, and it's resulting in turnovers.
Holmes back to pass into the end zone for the 2, and it is incomplete.
Well,
good pressure by the defense there, but 28-7 your score.
Columbia not afraid to dial up the pressure now. You're starting to see them trying to get after the quarterback, make some bad throws, and rely on the talent around.
Tommy, after last year's senior class, they had 25 seniors on that class last year, at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of shoes to fill if you're Tiffin Columbian.
How many of them started?
Most of them. Not all of them, obviously, but you did have some underclassmen starting in key positions still. But
I'm gonna say, as Columbian,
it's not like this team doesn't have experience.
You have a lot of guys lying in the weights. But that's the difference between this Columbian squad and ones of the past. Is normally guys just kind of, like you always say, they don't rebuild, they reload.
Yeah.
But in a lot of these Columbian guys' cases, you have a lot of experience on the field at a young age. It's just you got to get this. You got to get a little bigger. You got to get a little stronger
kick.
now.
Fielded at the 25-yard line. Corper cuts it back. He's into the open, 35-40, and he's going to be brought down right around the 44-yard line. Still, Fremont Ross, they are just ripping at the ball every chance they get. These guys have got to make sure they take care of the football. Even on that carry, on that return, Corper, when he went down, defender still ripping at the ball on the way down to the ground. So,
well, I kind of wondered in Coach Lutz's presser, he was talking about standing out on special team side of things, and I kind of wondered to myself, I was like, oh, maybe they got a golden boot. Maybe they got some, great kicking, and I'm starting to see that it's all in the return.
yeah.
Corper, he's just been phenomenal in the return game here today.
Ball at the 45, Rogo, pressure.
The pressure getting to Rogo once again. He's still on his feet.
He's going to have to get rid of it. He just throws it away. He is outside the tackle box, I believe, maybe. They're saying incomplete pass. I think he was outside the tackle box, so luckily he gets away with the pass being nowhere near an intended receiver. But second down and 10 coming up. This Fremont Ross defense, Tommy. Man, they are just, wow. They're just getting after it right now. Second down and 10, ball at the 45. Rogo slings it out. Underneath, running back Brockington makes the reception, gets it into Fremont territory down to the 47-yard line. Third down and about 2 coming up.
Game
21-point lead, and one of the defenders trying to get Brockington to buy into that extracurriculars on the field, and Yetta trying to get the defense to jump here.
Third down and 2. Empty backfield set for Rogo. Takes the snap. Pressure. Gets it away over the middle. Incomplete. Trying to find Corper, but overthrows his intended receiver.
That's going to bring up fourth down now. 2 yards to go.
And a 4th and 2 coming up here for Tiffin Columbian. They bring Scheiber into the game.
Now, that's the story here is Fremont Ross in their last drive, they were facing a 3rd and 8, and I called that a manageable conversion for that Holmes quarterback. Right here on 4th and 2, this is a down and distance situation against this Ross defense.
Rogo slings it out. It's complete.
And they are going to move the chains.
And he's got the first down. Nicely done there. I'd like to see a little bit more of that right now. And this if they can find just those short completions, make guys miss, make something happen after the catch, because that's you got to get these surefire completions, get some confidence with your guys right now.
And I think that's the rhythm that Rogo's been brought up in.
Absolutely.
Quick to the ball, quick to tempo.
1st and 10, Rogo back to pass. Slings it down the field, looking for a man deep, and it's going to be picked off. Receiver didn't even make an attempt for it there as they were jockeying for position.
Another turnover. I believe that's the 5th turnover of the evening for the Tornadoes.
Mm.
And we're still in the 3rd quarter.
Elijah Sims with his 2nd interception here in the ball game.
Another drive stalls out for the Tornadoes after a turnover.
That was a situation there, Tommy, where, Rogo, he just kind of uncorked that one, and the receiver really wasn't in any kind of position to catch that ball.
He had a fresh set of downs, trying to catch the defense sleeping, but if the throw's not there, don't throw it.
Exactly. You got to eat that one because that throw was not there. Defender had the over-top coverage.
Yeah. I mean, that's still part of that maturation process as you go on.
Holmes on the carry.
Oh, man. He lowers his shoulder, shakes the defender, makes a spin move, and all of a sudden is falling 4 yards ahead. What a tremendous – this Holmes is a treat to watch.
He really is, Tommy. He is something special, I tell you. The way he's able to maintain his balance through contact. I mean, that's something you just can't coach that. And Carey pouring it on Hopewell Loudon now, 23-8.
And I'm telling you what, this Holmes, he could tiptoe between snowflakes. That's how great his footwork is. Just the way he's able to bounce off. Look at this now.
Jones on the carry, bouncing off of tacklers. Picks up the first down to the 38-yard line.
Bouncing defenders. Oh, my.
You ever go to Cedar Point, you play dodge 'em.
Has sights on that run there.
You get a good run, you get a good momentum, and then you just kind of like watch the bumper cars just bounce off you. That's kind of what I saw right there. It just looked like a bumper car with a head of steam. First and 10, ball at the 38. And, you know, you talk about the turnovers for Tiffin Columbian. You're not going to win many ball games when you turn the ball over that many times. But on the other side, Fremont Ross, do they even have a turnover, Tommy?
Just one, I believe.
I think it's just one.
An interception earlier.
Sling it out right side. Many missed
And
tackles.
turnover on downs.
And they get it up near the first down marker. Second down and about 2 coming up. 28-7, Fremont Ross leading Tiffin Columbian. There's 2:18 left to play here in the third quarter. And Little Giants all over Tiffin Columbian here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Like you said, Tommy, you'd think Fremont Ross was a team with revenge on their minds.
And I think Fremont Ross is just looking at Tiffin Columbian as the next step on this long journey to where Coach Long and this Fremont Ross squad believe they can go.
Kelandre Jones on the carry picks up the first down up to the 26-yard line.
You know, there's always those cliches about coaches that tell you one day at a time, one game, that's what's on our mind. But like we talked about, when you have this big of a week one matchup, you're already thinking what the postseason looks like for you and where you match up at.
First and 10.
And
ball at about the 26-yard line.
I do not envy those Division II opponents on that Fremont Ross schedule this year.
Yeah. I don't envy any of them.
Pass complete to number 11. Adam Heronshoe.
Heronshoe with the reception up to the 18. Actually, they'll mark him out right around the 17-yard line, so just shy of the first down. And these Little Giants are just so quick to get rid of the ball, get it out to the receivers, and let them make the play. It's not a whole lot of holding the ball with Caden Holmes. He doesn't hold on to the ball very often.
About 1:16 left here in the third quarter.
Holmes, handoff off the left side. Kelandre Jones on the carry. Gets it up near the 16, maybe the 15-yard line. He'll pick up the first down. And that'll move the sticks.
And any other squad, when you get caught right off that edge like that, normally that's a 2 or 3 yard loss. That was like a 2-yard gain. How does that happen? Just carrying defenders with you, falling ahead. I mean, you love what you're seeing out of this Fremont Ross squad.
Oh, absolutely.
They're continuing to march here with the ball in the 16, driving in the red zone. Little Giants looking for a score here.
Back to pass. Holmes looking right side, gets it out complete. And Tommy, there was
Fremont
nobody
Ross
anywhere near him.
Yeah, Tornadoes were
on the
defending
reception.
deep field.
Like it was like they were defending the end zone, and he just said, "Oh, you're going to give me that 9 yards? I'll take that 8-yard gain." Sorry, up to the 9-yard line. I understand you got to respect their speed. I get that. You definitely have to respect their speed, but
well, when you respect the speed, you got to rely on your power. If your power's
right.
not there, then you got to use speed. So, I mean, it's a catch-22.
That's right.
Here's the deal, you know.
That's the end of the third quarter. Fremont Ross leading 28-7 over Tiffin Columbian. We head to the fourth quarter of action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. You're locked in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
And we're back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall, set to start the fourth quarter of action as Fremont Ross leading Tiffin Columbian 28-7 here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks for tuning in here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. We'll take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast. Thanks to Rodgers Flowers, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, First National Bank of Sycamore, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, TJ Willies Fine Foods, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Reino's Pizza and Pasta, Sara RIZEN, Century 21 Bolte and Tiffin, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia. We'll get to the rest right after this play. Holmes with the handoff. Jones up the middle, bounces off of tacklers, and he's going to get it down inside the 5 to the 4. Thank you to the rest of our sponsors, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia, Buckeye IT, Linda Ritzler Accounting, Culligan Water, 5-Star Maintenance and Construction, and Champs Barbershop. All proud sponsors right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State, Heart of Ohio Sports. A huge thank you to the community for all of your kind words after last night's broadcast. We heard a lot of support from those around the community. And we can't thank you for being on board with us for our inaugural football season here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Handoff up the middle. Jones bounces off another tackle, gets it down inside the 2. Right at the 2 is where they're going to mark him down. So 3rd down and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. And these little Giants, they're knocking on the door once again.
Yeah, you love those.
Holmes, handoff, Jones, touchdown.
Jones.
Kelandre
Walks
Jones.
right in.
Walks in untouched. And the Fremont Ross Little Giants now lead 34-7 with 11:04 left to play here in the ball game.
I was going to say, Fremont Ross Little Giants. What an oxymoron that is.
Right.
They just walked right in after following that big number 71, Ty Ferguson.
There's nothing little about them Giants.
What do you got on that number 71? How big is he?
Gee. Let me see here. What we got on size here? 71. He's the biggest guy I've seen out there. Ty Ferguson, 6'5", 335. Ooh. Good Lord. That's a big kid. Then you got Caden Maley, sophomore, 6'6", 300 pounds.
He was big since he was little.
That's one of my favorite one-liners. Jacob Ratliff, 6 foot, 312. He's a sophomore. Timeout called on the field here on the extra point. But, yeah.
Chad Long is the only person I know that would call a timeout on an extra point.
A lot of size with these little Giants. Now let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, as he's been kind of quiet down there, but it's rightfully so. I mean, it's a little noisy down there, Eric, and when we send it down to you, we want to make sure we got you, and we got you good. So what's the atmosphere like for you here on your first Friday night in Tiffin Columbian Stadium with these Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes?
I'll tell you, it's exciting being out here, back at my alma mater of 21 years ago. But the atmosphere, as far as the players go, got pretty deflated after that interception.
Slings it into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is no good. Yeah, they got pretty deflated after that last touchdown, but I'll tell you, Eric, this is one of the toughest tests they're going to see on the schedule all year. You know, when you consider what these Fremont Ross Little Giants bring to the table, they're not going to see anybody this big, I don't think, on the rest of their schedule. So this is a great tune-up game for a team like this. You know, when you're trying to put together your schedule before the season, you're trying to find the best matchups. You want to find litmus tests. You want to find those measuring stick matchups. That's exactly what this is for Tiffin Columbian. Now they know what they've got to do. They know the things that they've got to fix. Number one, turnovers. Turnovers are the big killer here today. They've killed 3 drives that I've seen that were driving progress. You had the offense moving down the field, and they just stalled progress with the turnovers.
Again, we always talk about you want those litmus tests early. You want to take your lumps early. But how many seasons have we seen these Tiffin tornadoes backed into a corner like a wounded animal and just having to fight for everything they earn to get into the postseason and string together these impressive wins and impressive records?
Carter Rodriguez on to kick off. And it'll be returned from the 5-yard line. Jack Corper on the return up to the 22-yard line, and he'll be brought down there.
I tell you what, this return game is something to keep an eye on, because if these are the type of returns you're getting against a team like Fremont Ross,
yeah,
some of you other special teams coaches out there need to.
I want to take notice.
Yeah.
I know next week they got Springfield, and we're going to see score earlier on that Springfield game.
Who's the coach over there, Homer Simpson?
No, it's Ohio, Maud. Let's see. So we've got Springfield next week. Sandusky leading Springfield 27-14 in the third quarter. Rogo slings it out left side, complete. He's got it up. That's Mitch Scheiber, who's got it up past the 45.
Not Rogo. 10:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 10:50 remaining here in the game as Tiffin Columbian still chasing a huge lead, 34-7.
Yeah, Carey is all over Hopewell Loudon now, 30-8. That game started out 8-3 Hopewell.
And
27 unanswered points by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and Carey took a big hit off that graduating state championship team in the senior department, and to just put together something like that over Hopewell.
Well, they lost 30 touchdowns with Jordan Vallejo. That's the human bulldozer.
Well, look at that.
Nice little screen underneath set up for Jack Corper, and he's into the open, past the 30 up to the 28-yard line.
Quick as a hiccup as Corper. Elijah Sim comes in to clean up Corper after another huge gain.
Offense quickly up to the line. 3 receivers on the far side of the field. Rogo takes the snap. Looking, steps up into the pocket, pressured, and he gets away from pressure.
Lineman holds him up.
And he's going to be chased down behind the line. Valerio, no, actually that is number 8 on the tackle there.
And never
Carson
fun.
Caden.
Never a fun time when you're holding your quarterback up by the waist. Apologize as he tried to extend the play. Rogo tries to make something happen there. This is a 2nd and 10 now.
Second down.
Look at that quick
Rogo
out.
slings it out left side. Scheiber on the completion. Got it up right around the 20-yard line.
They just get up to the ball. You know, we talk about speed kills. And Fremont Ross, definitely a speedy team, but defensively, again, if you can get this ball out and relieve some of that pressure, you're forced into those one-on-one matchups.
The surprising thing for me, though, is the inability to get the ball down the field. They have not been able to stretch the field at all today with this offense.
No, because if you do, you're in the collapsing arm of a giant defender.
Rogo got a block from his brother out there on the edge. Boy, Bryce Rogo absolutely planted a defender out there on the edge. What a block to set the edge there by Bryce Rogo.
9:46 remaining here. Columbian not wanting to go away quietly into that soft night. Not the most. We watched the same thing happen last year.
Yeah.
No lead is safe in this one, but again, Tiffin Columbian's got to make something happen and get themselves in the end zone here.
Rogo slings it over the middle, nearly picked off as he was looking for Corper.
Pressure came down
right in his face as soon as he got the ball. Tommy, there was a guy in his face.
Yeah, and if that didn't happen, that was 6.
Oh, for sure.
That split.
Yeah.
Corporal would have split those defenders at half second in between. Rogo forced to throw it early. Reason why it's incomplete. A little slant.
Spread set here. Shotgun formation. Man in the backfield. They bring a man in motion. Hand it off on the jet sweep. That's Corper. He cuts it back inside. Another cut.
On his feet.
And he's into the end zone for the. Oh, they're going to call him down. Really?
He still wasn't on his. He still wasn't. And yeah, again, Corporal wasn't off his feet.
Officials call him down on the 1 yard line. There is a flag on the play.
Well, that's a meaningless flag. He didn't really do anything. If that's the second one on Heronshoe, he'll be gone.
Oh, wow.
No, that's an automatic first down. Personal fouls are automatic. All right, he did say first. I thought he said third down. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, third down too, but handoff up the middle. Scheiber takes the carry and plunges in for the touchdown. So 34-13 is your score. 9:24 left to play in the ball game.
And the bus driver just shut it off.
Well, I know last year Columbian had a 17-point advantage in the fourth quarter with about 6.5 minutes left, and it was my understanding that they started putting some reserves in the game, thinking that it was pretty much over, and that definitely incensed the Fremont Ross coaching staff into lighting a fire under their players, and that caused them to come back and win the game in the last second play.
You make your own bed and you lie in it. Live and learn. Both these squads are going to play it down to the wire here.
And the extra point attempt is up and good. So 34-14 your score. Ross leading by 20 with 9:24 left to play in the ball game.
I don't know how you stop this Ross offense. That's the difficulty here.
Welcome all of you tuned in here on YouTube as we are crossing the 370 mark on viewers for YouTube. Facebook channel right around 128 strong. That means over 500 people are watching our stream right now, Tommy. You think that many people are listening?
Well, it's a big week here for Heart of Ohio Sports as we talked about Thursday night football, kicking things off, Mohawk and Calvert. And that huge class where Calvert got off to a great start. Yeah. Tiffin Columbian here tonight, live from Frost-Kalnow Stadium against hosting Fremont Ross. And this one has been a tremendous game. I mean, no team is going to be hanging their head after this one's over. I mean, you eat the disappointment, what have you, on whoever comes out on the losing end. But, I mean, sometimes you eat the bar and Rice and Hammer, though, on the return, actually give the Little Giants great field position to start this drive. I think they'll start from the 41-yard line.
9:23 left to play in the ball game. Little Giants leading by 20. 34-14 is your score. Let's take a look around the area at the First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard here, as we take a look and see what's going on around the area after this play.
Hard count again. Looks for the adjustment.
1st and 10 at the 42. Caden Holmes in the backfield.
Or more so, actually looks for the play.
One man in the backfield with him. Holmes back to pass. Slings it left side, and it is incomplete. He was looking for, I think it was Heronshoe on the left side.
Fremont Ross not shying away from their game plan.
Yeah.
Continuing just to use this offense. You know, normally, especially with the way the run game's been established here tonight, you figured they would just pound on this squad, this TC squad, but
Seneca East was down 24-0 to Northwood in that game. They've come back now to take the lead 28-24 in the fourth quarter. Wow.
That's Coach Ed Phillips for you.
Handoff up the middle. And Ricky Howard on the carry.
Howard just squeezes through there. What's the stats on Howard?
That'd be a good question to ask Matt and I, not me. I'm not keeping stats.
I mean, how big is he? You got a roster.
5'6", 150 pounds. I remember that because he ain't very big, but he's quicker than a hiccup.
Yeah. Hard to account for.
We'll keep a look at the scoreboard from around the area, brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore.
Clock continues to roll, though.
Carey leading Hopewell now 37-8 in the fourth quarter. This 3rd and 3 play coming up here. Caden Holmes lets that play clock run down. Handoff, left side. And they swallow him up in the backfield and drop him for a loss. That's the first time Jones has been dropped for a loss all game. Just about every time he takes the ball on a handoff, Tommy, he's picking up 3, 4, 5 yards. That's the first time they've been able to apply pressure in the backfield when he gets the handoff.
And Connor Musa has had a coming out party here defensively in the second half. You at some point you just get fed up down there when your line's getting beat up on. You're not able to get a stop. Sometimes you get a couple guys down there get fired up enough. You start pushing guys around. They start running into each other, and guys like Connor Musa can make a play happen. He just used that size.
4th down, punt unit onto the field, and they're going to run. They're going to try to pick up this first down, and we'll see where they spot it. It's going to come down to the spot. What a spot by the referee on the Fremont side. Wow. All right. First down on that 4th down conversion. They decide to take off and run it on a fake punt and pick up the first down.
And Fremont Ross,
wow,
keeps this drive alive.
Wait a second. So wait, the first down marker was at the 47-yard line, right? The 48-yard line. That's where the first down marker was. Now the ball's at the 47 for this play. How did it go backwards a yard, but they still pick up the first down? The ball should be. I just don't understand this call at all. Yeah, they should be talking to each other because the ball's not where it's supposed to be. I think Judd's saying the same thing. He's saying, look, that's not where that ball was, guys. Come on now. Come on. Like, even if they did pick up the first, they still, I mean. And Judd's trying to figure out what's going on here. Clock reset to 7:22. 34-14 your score. Ross picks up a huge 4th down conversion there.
Yeah, that's one nail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
absolutely. You said it right.
You can be as optimistic as you want. That's one nail
dagger.
Hammered.
That's a dagger. Ricky Howard in the backfield.
Clock rolling here. Almost under 7 minutes here to go in the game. After a huge conversion by the Fremont Ross Little Giants to extend this drive. Ball to Howard. He's caught in the backfield. He's cleaned up by the Tornadoes.
Dropped in the backfield for a loss, but they're going to give the forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Down to 6:40 left to play in the ball game. Perkins all over Woodward, 54-6. Woo! Perkins is going to be a tough team this year, guys. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. It doesn't get any easier for the Tornadoes. This is week 1, Bubba.
2nd and 10. Holmes back to pass.
All the
slings
time
it down
in the
the
world.
field. He's got a man, and he just overshoots his intended receiver. Boy, Tommy, I tell you, if I'm the defensive backs coach, that defensive back's going to get a talking to because he gave up on that. You can tell at the end of that route, that receiver broke away, and the defensive back, I don't know, just didn't look like he had the same.
Hearing you, the intended target there. He's had himself a little game.
Oh, yeah. He's a tall drink of water. Here and shoots 6'3", 180 pounds, senior. Second team All-Ohio last year. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not who it was. Bryson Hammer's a second team. Holmes gets the pressure, but gets away. Tornadoes just cannot bring him down.
But on 3rd and 10, still going to bring up a huge 4th down.
And they're probably going to keep the offense on the field here. That would be the call.
Oh, absolutely.
Most likely. I mean, you went for it for a fake punt on 4th down, so why wouldn't you go for it here?
Yeah, and the ball on the other side of the 50. You know, and if you're Tiffin Columbian, you got one foot in the grave and the other one awaiting a banana peel. And right here, the banana peel could be a big conversion on 4th and 6.
Holmes back to pass on 4th down. Looking.
Got it!
It's drilled. Ball's on the ground.
Ball's loose.
And the defense, I think, thought that was an incomplete pass because nobody wanted to fall on it. But nevertheless, they get the ball back anyway. It doesn't matter if they fell on it or the Giants. You know, if somebody falls on it, it's down there, and that's the way the Tornadoes take over.
And the way the spotting's been, you're going to get that yard back anyway.
That's right.
I mean, Nate, is this just a case of finding yourself a little too little, too late?
Mm-hmm.
Because, man,
that's what it seems like right now,
This 4th
Tommy.
quarter has been a different tempo, a different fire under these Tornadoes. But like we talked about, maybe a little, too late.
Rogo in the shotgun, 3 receivers on the near side of the field.
Can't continue to unravel here.
Rogo slings it out right side. Keyshawn Seitz on the reception, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that pass play, they've got it for the most part, most of this game. Little Giants were ready for it there, Tommy. They met him as soon as he caught the ball, and he was almost tackled for a loss there.
And I mean, if you're Tiffin Columbian, you kind of, and as we talked about, Nate, you and I, we've been covering this squad longer than anybody around. It's been one of these things where this Tiffin Columbian squad, this year, there's a little bit different tempo, a little bit different pace with his offense. But in years past, young Rogo, even in his freshman campaign, his sophomore campaign, it was they always had this sense of urgency. They were always quick to the line. And when they run that tempo, they find some success, especially against a bigger squad like Fremont Ross.
That's how you find those mismatches, those advantages.
These are the teams that you do that type of stuff against.
3 receivers on the near side. Rogo back to pass. Slings it over the middle. Corper into the open. 35, 30, 25. Cuts it back to 15. And inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line, Jack Corper. What a reception. What a move after the catch. 4:43 left to play in the ball game. Tornadoes first and 10.
Tornadoes getting marched to the line. Get. That's the commands out there by Rogo.
Rogo in the backfield, takes the snap, looking, slings it right side, complete to Scheiber, and Scheiber's brought down right after the reception. And whoever brought him down took the full force of Mitch Scheiber, because I'll tell you, he was running full speed, and that linebacker came down to meet him and tried to set his base, Tommy. And I'll tell you, that's not something you want to do when you got a Mitch Scheiber running at you full speed.
Yeah, we'll follow the updates. Hopefully this young man is checked out. And
he looks to be fine. He's all right. He's just counting his chiclets, that's all.
But again, high school football brought to you right here on Heart of Ohio Sports by these community-minded sponsors. We want to thank Rodgers Flowers, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, First National Bank of Sycamore, Steinmetz Sign and Graphic Inc., Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, TJ Willies Fine Foods, Feasel Frame and Collision, Reino's Pizza and Pasta, Sara RIZEN, Century 21, Bolte and Tiffin, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia, Buckeye IT, Linda Ritzler Accounting, Culligan Water, 5-Star Maintenance, and Champs Barbershop.
Rogo on the quarterback keeper. Carries it up inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. 2nd down and 5 coming up.
We talk about those great sponsors. I mean, we're getting some messages coming in showing the great folks out at Benchwarmers watching this game live all around the community. So we want to thank you again for watching right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube page, like our Facebook, share the word. Keeping this paywall free for you.
3rd down and 5. Braden Rogo takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking, sets
Corper.
his feet into the end zone, back corner, incomplete.
Little trip, again. Getting tripped up with the defenders there.
The feet just got tangled up.
Yep.
4th and 5. This is essentially the ball game right here.
And this has been the story of the game.
That's right.
The long, sustained drives, only to peter out, only to stall out right when you're ready to finish the drive. And Tiffin Columbian, it's one of those things too, you know. The turnovers have just been the difference in this one.
Rogo in the shotgun set. 1 receiver on the far side, 3 on the near side. Back to pass. Pressure. He's got to get away from
that's
it.
a block.
He gets away. Rolling, looking into the end zone. Has to get rid of it, and it is nearly intercepted.
Tremendous coverage by the Little Giants, and that's going to be a turnover on down. And, Nate, again, you got to believe that's almost just about going to wrap that up for them. As another huge defensive stand inside the red zone by the Fremont Ross Little Giants turn the Tornadoes away once again with no points as Ross clings onto and maintains this 34-14 lead.
3:23 left to play in the ball game. Fremont Ross will take over at their own 7-yard line. (34-14) Ross over Tiffin Columbian here in the 4th quarter of action. Holmes takes the snap, and he's going to keep it himself off the left side. Got a little running room. Got it up past the 10, up to the 12, the 13-yard line. Let's take a look around the area once again at that First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard. Bellevue leading Port Clinton 24-14 in the 4th quarter. The Redmen. Tommy, that's my pick for the SBC Lake Division. That's got to be my pick. Bellevue looks like the team to beat. They got a lot of good kids coming back. They got a lot of talent coming back. And, of course, Ed Nasani. Come on. How can you pick against him?
I can.
Well, of course you can. I didn't go to school here, though. Clyde, 22.
I never.
St. Francis de Sales, 18.
He never beat us.
Handoff Jones off the left side, and he's got about 7 past the first down marker up to the 20-yard line. We'll keep it going with that First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard. Seneca East on top of Northwood now, 28-24. That is 28 unanswered points for the Tigers.
Wow. Tiger Nation coming alive over there.
Mansfield leading Norwalk now 41-19. Sandusky on top of Springfield 33-14 in the 4th quarter. Lakota final over Monroeville 21-7.
I think they're just going to take this down to the 2-minute mark.
It'll go inside 2 minutes before Caden Holmes takes the next snap. Down to 1:55. Handoff, Jones up the middle. A little halfback plunge there. Picks up maybe a yard or 2. Carey defeats Hopewell Loudon 37-8. That's 34 unanswered points there for the Carey Blue Devils to close out that game. Hopewell was leading 8-3 to start out. Carey final 37-8.
What a tremendous slate of games we've had for you this week on Heart of Ohio Sports. Things continue next week as well. But we'll have the fallout from week 1 on Monday on the Pulse podcast. Tune in around 8 o'clock.
Of course, we got Eric Hall still down there on the sidelines. We'll check in with him post-game. And Calandre Jones on the carry once again. And this is that point in the game, Tommy, where those big physical running backs really, they pay dividends when you're trying to put a game away.
Oh, absolutely. They drive those final nails that we were talking about. As Tiffin Columbian, again, at the beginning of this game, I would have told you there was a lot to work out with this squad. But Tiffin Columbian, it's not about where you start, it's where you finish. And even though you're in the L column, I really thought this Tiffin Columbian squad really started to find their rhythm, really started to come together. But those mental miscues,
yeah,
that's been the difference in this one. The turnovers will kill you. You can't. There's not too many times against a state-ranked opponent that 5 turnovers is going to put you in the win column.
That's right.
And, I mean, that's bottom line, the end of it.
Jones on the carry once again, gets it up past the 50 to the 49-yard line. Down to 45 seconds left to play here in the ball game. Make sure you stick around for the post-game show. Brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We will hand out our Player of the Game award. Brought to you by MST Sauce Company. We'll wrap things up and we'll get you set for tomorrow night.
Fremont Ross in their favorite, running their favorite play.
Caden Holmes takes the knee. And that should do it. That'll be the last play most likely. Unless they decide they, yeah, it is. That is the last and final play here tonight.
And
34-14 is your final.
What a tremendous week of action here on Heart of Ohio Sports, concluding week 1 of high school action. Don't forget tomorrow, Saturday.
That's right.
The Route 30 Rumble presented by BCM Promotions out at the Wyandotte County Fairgrounds. Heart of Ohio Sports will be on the call live for that. And then in 2 weeks' time, Heart of Ohio Sports bringing you Heidelberg football for the first time. College football airing live on Heart of Ohio Sports. Every home Heidelberg game of the tricolor brought to you live in crystal clear HD. Join us, won't you? But that's going to do us for here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium between Fremont Ross and Tiffin Columbian. Ross comes away with a huge win, 34-13.
All right, we're going to step aside. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the post-game show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
Fine.
And we're back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call. You're listening to the postgame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. 34-14 is your final score. Fremont Ross, Tommy, this one was impressive to watch from the Little Giants because this one was never in doubt. I mean, there was a time when you thought maybe Columbia might be able to mount a comeback, but these Little Giants, I mean, from start to finish, there was no doubt who the better team was here today. I mean, those Giants, they put it all on display here today.
Yeah. Fremont, again, Tiffin Columbian took too long to find themselves. Turnovers really played a factor on those long sustained drives by Tiffin Columbian, but the resulting turnovers, 5 turnovers for the Tornadoes, like we talked about, isn't going to put you in the win column, especially against a team like Fremont Ross. But Fremont Ross from the onset, just dominant throughout 48 minutes, and what a tremendous win by Caden Holmes and Coach Chad Long, making his return over here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium and picking up a W here against Tiffin Columbian.
All right, I think we're going to step aside, take a real quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I think we're going to try to get our player of the game here. We just got to figure out a way to pull him off to the side and get our interview with him. In the meantime, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of the postgame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We'll be right back after this.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
I cannot find him in this mess.
All right, so we're tuned in right here on the postgame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call. We're trying to get our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, to possibly get the player of the game off to the side for a interview here.
But what a tremendous...
We'll see if we can make that happen. If not, well, you know.
And what a tremendous outing once again. Thanks again to you fans for joining us here on the call, both from down the road in 53 from Fremont and our local contingent here in Tiffin. But again, didn't go the Tornadoes' way here tonight, but Fremont Ross really made a huge statement here tonight, being able to walk away victorious 34-14, and that was all set in motion by Fremont Ross. You know, those scores: a run for 28 yards, touchdown. Then they hammered 79. That run for 1 yard out by number 79 for Fremont Ross. A huge play. But offensively,
they had him at 79, but I think that was big number 99. I think that kid. I mean, when I looked at him, I'm like, just looks like a powder keg.
Yeah,
Jerry Scott,
1 yard run, and then after that, Holmes to hammer for that 31-yard touchdown run. Tiffin Columbian finally gets on the board. Puts it 22-3. And just from there, Fremont Ross continued. 3 scores in the third quarter, 2 scores there in the fourth, and Fremont Ross walks away 34-14. And this was a close one. Is it really the turnover margins is what was the difference here?
Absolutely. You look at the number of plays. I mean, Fremont ran 11 more plays. Passing yards, Columbian had the edge, 210 to 143. But, you know, the turnover battle was really, that's what tells the difference here. You talk about fumbles lost, 2 for Columbian, interceptions thrown, 2 for Columbian, and only 1 turnover for Fremont Ross. So we were 1 off. We thought it was 5. It was only 4 for Tiffin Columbian, but that's still a rough day to recover from if you're the Tornadoes. But you look at the other side, no penalties on the Tornadoes. Clean ball game as far as that's concerned. But the rushing, they were averaging about 5 yards a gain, Tommy, but they just didn't have a chance to really open up that running game because they were down most of the game. They didn't have a chance to get the ball into their playmakers' hands. I thought, you talk about Damian Brockington, 9 carries, 78 yards. He was averaging 8.7 yards a carry. Now, he did have some cramping issues he was dealing with, but that's a kid who, if they're not in a situation where they're playing catch-up, he might be more of an impact on this game.
Yeah, and you got guys like Jones for Fremont Ross accounting for 120 yards. But our player of the game, Nate, number 1, Caden Holmes, what a night he had.
Wow.
13 of 22 passing for 143 yards, 1 touchdown, and then 84 yards on the ground, averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And a tutty running in.
Also had an interception on the defensive side of the ball as well. So, he did it all today, folks. He was out there on both sides of the field making magic happen. And hopefully our sideline guy is able to make some magic happen and pull him off to the side for a quick little interview here. We'll see if we can make that happen here as we await word from our sideline guy. Let's go ahead and thank our sponsors, Tommy.
Go ahead and pull up that.
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
But once again, we want to thank you for joining us as high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports, brought to you by the community-minded sponsors at Rodgers Flowers, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, First National Bank of Sycamore, Steinmetz Siding Graphic Inc., Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, TJ Willies Fine Foods, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Reino's Pizza and Pasta, Sara RIZEN, Century 21, Bolte and Tiffin, Embroidery and Crafts by Busia, Buckeye IT, Linda Ritzler Accounting, Culligan Water, and 5-Star Maintenance, along with Champs Barbershop, bringing you high school football here each and every week right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And don't forget, Nate, we're not done this week. Tomorrow night, we'll be back at it from the Wyandotte County Fairgrounds Arena for BCN's Promotions Fight Night 10, the Route 30 Rumble, live from Wyandotte County Fairgrounds in Upper Sandusky, and presented by Route 30 Harley-Davidson. 12 huge fights, 2 championship main events, a light heavyweight contest, along with a heavyweight championship matchup in the main event. Come join us. Stream first bell time is around 7 p.m. Tickets still available at bcnpromotions.info, starting at just $40.
Get on it, folks. I'm telling you, there's not many tickets available. They're going fast, especially when it gets closer to showtime. Everybody tries to secure those tickets. You never know. It might sell out, folks. I'm telling you, get your tickets now. Don't wait. Get them now. This is the big fight event of the area. Yeah. And I'm telling you, this is one you're not going to want to miss. But if you can't make it, hey, it's so much better in person, let me tell you. The feeling, the smell, the atmosphere for an MMA event, so much better in person. So I encourage you, go check it out. But if you can't, tune in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'll have it for you tomorrow as that one coming to you live from the Richland County Fairgrounds? Wyandotte County Fairgrounds. Why am I saying Richland? That's quite a far ways away.
Yeah, and Bob Marshall, what a tremendous partnership with BCM that I've had the pleasure of dealing with as we got our guy?
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get him. All right, well, that's pretty much going to do it for us tonight. Once again, our player of the game, MST Sauce Company player of the game, Caden Holmes. I'm going to give a big shout-out to Caden Holmes, and I think that's pretty much going to do it for us tonight, folks. Tommy, you got any final thoughts here before we wrap things up? I got some thank yous I got to give out, but before we do that, I'll let you give your final thoughts on this one, because this one, I mean, what more can be said?
I mean, again, you do those litmus tests, you take your lumps early. Tiffin Columbian, you get back at it, have a short memory, and you clean some things up. It was a very well played ball game between both squads, but Fremont Ross, I mean, for a week 1 squad, almost flawless, and that's the reason that was the difference here tonight.
Yeah,
as Tiffin Columbian starts off 0-1, Fremont Ross 1-0, and Tiffin Columbian just get right back at it.
That's right. Back to the drawing board. You're going to figure out what went wrong, what went right, what you can do better, and what you're good at. And that is the key for week 2. It's corrections and figuring out what you're good at and what you can do best, and figuring out a way to implement that into your game plan. Once again, I want to give some shout-outs and some thank yous to everyone involved with the broadcast. Huge shout-out to the crew, the guys that were here. I know there's a couple guys here that were kind of just standing around wondering, okay, what am I going to do? Once the game starts, there's really not a whole lot they can do. I mean, you can stand here and watch the game, but it's training. We wanted to make sure that they understood what was going on with the setup, with the teardown, and we really appreciate them being here with us during the process. Big shout out to Dominic Helmstetter, our play-by-play guy. He'll be doing play-by-play next week right here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Actually, no, 2 weeks from now, because you can't be here next week. Next week, we'll have Zach Dillon on the call. Big shout out to Zach Dillon, our Heidelberg student, helping us out with production, helping us out on the call next week. He's going to be doing some play-by-play as well, as far as I'm concerned. I think that's the plan, right? Yeah, all right. I'm excited, man. This is going to be fun. He's like, come on, man. I'm just chomping at the bit. These guys are ready to get going. But once again, that's the play-by-play and the color guys for the normal stream. Next week, it's going to be a little bit different. You'll have Greg and you'll have Zach. So you'll have a familiar face, and then you'll have a not-so-familiar face. But Zach's awesome. He does a great job. Worked with him last year on Heidelberg Streams. Excellent guy. Professional is the word I will use. Excellent guy. Does a great job on the broadcast. Also,
we could use one of those.
Yes. We could use a few of those, trust me. They make us look better. But a huge shout out to Connor Roush and Bailey Mullins manning the cameras today. Bailey did a great job. I think he did most of the camera work today. Connor said he was going to let him kind of take over and do most of it today, and I think Bailey did a great job today. So huge shout out to Bailey, and a great shout out to Connor as well for training him and making sure he understands his role, as next week they'll be on their own. So Bailey will be doing the camera work for us. Connor will be doing the camera work for the crew here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. So pretty excited, as after this week we split up and we will be covering 2 games at the same time, folks. Yes, that's right, 2 games, same time. It's going to take some work, but we'll get it down, we'll get it right, and we're going to get it tuned in. And I'm telling you, you better tune in tomorrow night as we bring you more exciting action right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. The Route 30 Rumble from the Wyandotte County Fairgrounds. It was too big for Route 30. Can you believe that? Too big for Route 30. They had to move it to a bigger venue so we could accommodate more people. What a card. What a card, Tommy. That's going to be, I'm telling you, I'm so excited about that one, and you better be too. All right, once again, I got one more shout out, a couple more shout outs, actually. Big shout out to Greg Kinn for helping out with production today, helping out pretty much everywhere we needed him today. And then Eric Hall, our sideline guy. Big shout out to Eric. And today was a little rough. I will say that. Yesterday was rough. Today was a little rougher for the sideline gear. But we're going to get this thing figured out, folks. We're going to give you the best quality package that we can possibly give you. And that's going to come to you right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. And a huge shout out to you, Tommy. Thanks for coming on with me. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll catch you down the road. Tune in tomorrow night for the Route 30 Rumble presented by BCM Promotions for Fight Night 10, 12 fights, 2 championship contests in the main event. And we're going to determine who is the vacant BCM heavyweight champion. A lot of beef in the ring. Tune in live. First bell time, 7 p.m. right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
All right, that's going to do it for Dominic Helmstetter, Zach Dillon, Connor Roush, Bailey Mullins, Eric Hall, Greg Kinn, and Tommy Hall. I'm Nate Mullins, signing off from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Your final score, 34-14 Ross, all over Tiffin Columbian here in front of the Columbian faithful. Thanks for tuning in right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. Have a great night. We'll see you when we see you.